Today on Chris Dyer's Creative Friends.
I keep it basic, it's just to be consistent and to be authentic to what you create, you know what I'm saying? To have faith in what you do. Try to, guide it. If you love it, it's like a child, you want to guide it. There's horrible days and there's beautiful days, but that's life. That's the fullness of life. It's not about being good or bad, it's about living it. I was able to live through it, up and down.
Embracing all the experiences.
Yeah. And that's as realistic I could get with it. I don't think everybody should be an artist. I think everybody should be creative. I've gone through my life telling people, you should be an artist, you should be an artist. If you don't feel it, don't do it, you know what I'm saying? But be creative in everything, in your relationships, in the way you cook, in the way you tie your shoes, and the clothes you wear, your hair, you know what I'm saying? Be creative as much as possible because it adds on to your life.
Express yourself.
Yeah.
Terms!
What's up, brother?
Woo!
Finally.
So great to be here in your art studio in Miami. I've been wanting to record this podcast interview for years.
Yeah.
You're an old homie of mine, and let's start with, where are we?
Right now we're in, so Wynwood, and we're in the studios that was offered to us by the Museum of Graffiti, and also the private gallery as well. And this is where we are in the creative space. Usually we share it with more artists, but right now I'm sharing my space with Entes, which is a homie.
I know, my old friend Entes. I think it's episode 26 of the podcast.
Yeah. And so we're here creating, and that's where we're at. Yeah, Miami, MIA 305.
Yeah, you're originally from here, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the Museum of Graffiti, because to me, graffiti is the foundation of all these popular street art movements that are happening all over the world, but graffiti is where it all started, and it seems like this museum seems to be like, trying to present the foundation in a good way so they get things clear. What is Alan Ketz and Museum of Graffiti doing? And all the other workers that also work here. I don't know all the names.
Like, what are they doing? How? What do you mean?
What's happening here at the Museum of Graffiti?
Well, okay, so what they do is they show, at the Museum of Graffiti, they show graffiti artists from around the world. And they show their work, they show whether it's just straight up graffiti or their contemporary art, their evolution. It also shows the history of graffiti. Where it started, who were the originators, and then the museum next to it, which is associated with the Museum of Graffiti, it's the private one. There they're showing artists, again, from around the world, our modern, where we are today with our art, whether it's straight up graffiti, whether it's abstract contemporary work, which is, it could be from minimalism to painting faces, what I'm saying? It's infinite. But they're supporting us, and our movement and keeping the culture alive. And, and I don't know, man, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We have something that helps us, what I'm saying, that supports us, and we're trying, to keep that energy alive. But it's all over the world, what I'm saying? But they're capturing it, holding it, giving it more value, showing it to the world that doesn't understand it. So I'm super thankful.
What is your point of view on graffiti? Obviously, you're part of that culture, and I could ask you, what is graffiti? And you can, you could give me a definition of what graffiti is supposed to be. But a definition that you brought up in a recent interview is that graffiti was sacred chaos.
I said that?
Yeah, and that it's almost like evidence of freedom for a city. Why is it important for a city to still have illegal graffiti popping up everywhere?
You know why? Because it's the voice of the people. It's the voice of the voiceless. It's the way I grew up, it gave me a place in the city, an existence of just being a worker or something. I see my name here. I see my name there, so that's probably what I meant by sacred chaos. in the sense of it speaks. Man, have you ever been to a city? I've been to cities that barely have graffiti.
Yes.
And it's kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's no sound.
Yeah.
Right? There's no sound, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know.
Like I appreciate cleanliness.
But graffiti is not uncleanliness. You see what I'm saying? The give and take. It depends on who you're talking to.
There's a balance between a city that's been so bombed out that it's like there's no escape from it, and it's
I've
like
been there.
okay, it's too much. And a city where it's so clean, where I'm like, damn, that wall's dying for a tag or a throw-away or whatever.
I just love it, man. I love it, and I'm glad that it exists. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't know what type of voice I would have if it wasn't for starting young as a graffiti writer. Mm-hmm. You know, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you.
What's the importance of doing illegal art for you at your not so young age? Like because
it's
like,
funny because
we get older and it's like, oh, do I really want to risk going to jail? You know, in my 40s, in my 50s, like.
You know, I don't even think about it like that, really. I don't, you know, I go out and do trains and I do my tags. You know, I get up, I bomb here and there, more in other cities too, you know. I don't really think about it as a negative thing, as illegal, you know, it is to the system. Mm-hmm. But you know, I've gotten caught before, but I don't, you know, I don't, I just see it as you know, I'm going to continue creating. You know what I'm saying? There's no, I don't really, you know, I understand it's illegal with it, but you know, we're smart about it. We're not dumb. We're not just like, oh, we're going to do whatever. We're grown about it. So, you know, it's to me, it's even beyond illegal. You know what I'm saying? To them, it's illegal. To me, it's not. So it has to continue. It has to be expressed.
Is the fact that it's illegal like a side detail that you're like, okay, sure, I just got to paint a fucking train tonight?
Yeah, pretty much. I have to express myself. I have to be creative, which is an inborn code inside of us to stay creative. You already know. I know. We're going to touch upon subjects that I know that you already know, but we're just talking.
Yeah, no, this is for these guys who are listening here.
But yeah, so, you know, we're coded to create. So, you know, like graffiti to me is a part of that creation. It's a part of that activation to change. You know what I'm saying? That's constant. So, yeah, being creative is the process of graffiti. So it has to happen. It has to continue, regardless illegal, how illegal they want to make it, or how non-illegal they want to make it, how, you know, legal walls or whatever. You know, it's coded in us to be creative, you know. And when you don't have anything, and you grab this and grab that, and you're able to express yourself on a wall, that feeling is amazing, brother. Mm-hmm. It's amazing, and it doesn't go away, you know. It doesn't go away. I mean, you know, it may not. I'm not as active as when I was young, but the feeling of being able to express myself on things in the street, materials in the street, things that travel, is beautiful, man. It's sending the message, you know, of our creativity, you know.
Is graffiti specifically for urban environments? Like, does the graffiti only work in a city? Or if you're doing it in the country, it's like you're talking to nobody? Or
I've
it doesn't
done it
really
everywhere.
matter?
Yeah, I've done it.
Listener?
I've done it deep in Putumayo, Colombia, you know, by the Amazons. You know, you find a wall, you get creative.
Yeah.
Where it started, yes. Where it is now, no. It belongs to the world, you know. Mm-hmm. Wherever you could express yourself, yeah. But there's levels to it too, you know what I'm saying? There's growth to it. There's guidance to it. There's strength to it. There's maneuvering it, you know, as you continue doing it, you know. That's what happened to me too. It's not just I'm writing my name, haha. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that I did in Putumayo and Colombia, you know, it vibrated off the energy of that place. So I'm not just gonna write my name and run. Nah, You know, I drew my characters with the wings, and I even, you know, I created one in the outside temple of where they did ayahuasca.
Okay.
They're like, yeah, please draw it. You know what I'm saying? So it added on to that, you know, it added on to the neighborhood. Some of the kids came and helped me. You know, so there's, you know, graffiti is always viewed as one thing, as illegal, done.
Yeah.
But we're at the level that you could go heights with it. You know what I'm saying? You could reach, you know, where you want to take it. You know, you are the sole controller of your creativity in the direction that you want to take it.
Totally.
Yeah.
This show is brought to you by 4 Visions. For thousands of years, Blue Lotus has been revered as one of the world's most cherished botanicals. Today, 4 Visions is helping carry that ancient plant wisdom into the modern world. Their handcrafted, full-spectrum Blue Lotus tinctures are made in small batches from ethically sourced flowers using a proprietary 2-stage extraction process that preserves the plant's natural complexity. Traditionally known for enhancing intuition, vivid dreaming, and inner stillness, Blue Lotus invites a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. Use discount code ChrisDyer15 to discover 4 Visions Blue Lotus tincture for yourself. Aho! So tell me about your art in general, because this is a difficult situation. You're expressing yourself freely in the streets. You got studio work. Yeah. You got a certain style that expresses your love for Rasta, but you're also trying to disassociate yourself with all boxes of physical reality and allow pure energy to express in some kind of abstract form.
Yeah.
But then you got like all these like interdimensional alien codings coming in. I see it as a very visionary graffiti kind of, you know, clusterfuck, which is a terrible word, but just like a big amalgamation of different styles hitting up one human and coming in different ways. Yeah. Like a tree with many branches.
Yeah, exactly. You ended it perfect. Because, I mean, that's what life is. You know, we start up as a child and we branch out. We grow many branches, you know. So, as an artist, you know, I learned that getting older. I didn't know that was going to happen as a child because I'm just doing graffiti. I didn't care about galleries, nothing. I just wanted to do letters, you know, show skill of letter structures. But I'm getting older and I start learning about spirituality, culture, you know, start going into my past, my roots, get influenced by, you know, teachers and gurus and, you know, rases, you know. And then that starts shaping my art to go, you know, I'm branching out. Here's another branch, here's another branch, here's another branch. And I've lived long enough to look back and see that I've created a lot of branches on this tree of who I am as an artist. And I love that, you know. And that's why sometimes it's hard to explain it unless we're directed to one branch. But if we're speaking in general, yeah, man, it's parts of my existence, of things that I've experienced, things I've communicated with, you know, and things that have communicated through me. So, you know, that's pretty much what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? The evolution of experimenting with myself and what channels through me, but also what channels through you also speaks to you. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes you're creating and sometimes I'm wondering, you know what I'm saying, which direction this is going to go, you know what I'm saying? But the energy of it works through you, it speaks to you, and because it is a language. It's all language, brother. You know, graffiti is a language. Art is a language. Right now, language, visual, sound, everything is a language. Shapes and forms, you know, deciphering shapes and forms, they're speaking to us, you know. I'm just learning that now too, brother. I learned recently that the earth and, I mean, to people this might sound crazy, but you know, we don't care about that.
No.
But the sun and the earth communicate. Mm-hmm. There's a communication through them. Magnetic communication, light communication.
Well, they're both conscious entities too.
Right. so that they have a language that us as humans, we're eventually going to understand it, eventually, hopefully. And that's what happens with our art, you know what I'm saying? We start understanding how we have to express ourselves, what's working through us. Or sometimes not. We're learning that this is the direction that we're going to go with it, you know? So you're seeing the evolution of the graffiti. You're seeing me go into realms of, you know, abstract. And I mean, but I also do, you know, I've also done, you know, work for people and stuff like that too. But it always involves my energy, you know? I've never tried to stray to just go, what would that style be called? Like when somebody just does
commissions?
Not commissions, it's almost like
commercial work?
Yeah, commercial work.
Yeah.
Even my commercial work.
What's that called when you work for a business you don't believe in?
Right, pretty much,
Never
yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah. So the commercial work, you know, even the commercial work, you know, incorporates the energy and the things that I've experienced and learned in life. So
yeah.
I'm super thankful I've been able to do that.
So when you're channeling, what are you channeling? Is it a specific energy from the Rastafarian path, or an alien lifetime you might have had, or just you don't even know? Like what's coming through you in this coding and
I think it's
language?
different things. Mm-hmm. It's more than one thing. I don't believe in like this whole one thing. Mm-hmm. I believe oneness, mm-hmm. but I also believe that in that oneness there's infinite possibilities, infinite channeling. So especially growing. So speaking as the age that I am now, or where I'm at now, you know, at one point, yes, Rastafari was the main focal point. But then I got into Kemetic science, you know?
What is that?
Egyptian science, you know? The Asar Set Society. You know, I studied with Muata Ashby a little bit and things like that. And then, you know, Ifa, all that was present in my work, you know? So each one was a expression of that. So all of that I've channeled into the work. And you've seen it, I know you've seen it. But people that don't know my work, you know, we're recording me now, but you know, I started graffiti when I was 11.
What year was that?
80, I don't know, 84, 83, 80 something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, one of my first pieces was a couple of blocks away from here, brother.
Okay, nice.
Right around here.
What did you write?
I was writing, at that moment, I was writing Riot.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah, it's funny, yeah. Somebody gave me that tag, but it's funny, now I just jumped into that space. It's funny because I did an RT, and later on I became Ras Terms, so it's kind of funny. You know, I could say, oh, it's an RT for Ras Terms, but it was for Riot. But even that boy had a different type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Had that experience. When there, it was just on a mission to master letters, you know what I'm saying? Master that hip hop world that was being born during that time, that was just coming up, you know? So that's it's amazing, man. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're older, you're able to look back and be like, man, that's how I was there. And then I learned this here, you know what I'm saying? And then this added on to this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm super thankful.
It's almost like a Voltron robot that keeps on like, now I'm gonna get this fucking like wings.
Armored, yeah, like you're getting armored. Right, yeah. That's dope, yeah. We collect.
Yeah.
I just collected a Voltron too, that's funny.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like armor, you know, it's like it adds on to our existence, you know? Mm-hmm.
Would you say you still express as a Rasta? Or is that like a feather on your wings?
Okay.
Or is it in your heart?
Rastafari is in my heart, forever. I defend it. You're getting deep, because those are levels, you know. I got to think about that moment, because,
so
you know,
for those who don't know, who is Rastafari?
Okay, so Rastafari is an African-inspired Jamaican, African-inspired movement of black liberation that holds Haile Selassie as God and King, you know, and from that sprouted the movement.
He's also supposed to be the reincarnation of Jesus?
To some, yeah. There's different levels. Everything has levels. You know this. I know you're a Pisces, so.
Well, there's different kinds of Rastas too. So.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. There's different kind of graffiti writers. There's different kinds of Muslims. There's different kinds of, and that's what makes everything beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's levels to everything. There's layers. I learned that in graffiti too, because I love layering my letters. And now that I'm older, now I understand why I'm always like telling people, you know, like, yo, layer it up. Give it layers. You know what I'm saying?
Keep on building.
Right. So the Rastafari movement is layers. But the key thing is Africa and Haile Selassie I. Kidamawe Haile Selassie I as God and King. Then after that, it branches out, you know. But, you know, I'm Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? Colombian. I have my roots everywhere. Within those two, you know, from my parents, you know, so I research more, you know what I'm saying? And the deeper you go into things, the amazing it is, you know what I'm saying? So everything that I've studied, I hold dear to my heart. So if that's the question, yes, I hold it dear to my heart. Would I defend a Ras if he was chilling right now? Yes, I would defend him. Yes, I do. But, you know, I also study more, you know, and each has his little placement, you know, in that armor that we build on ourselves, like you were saying. So, it, you know, as protection. So I defend it and I respect it fully. So yes. But, you know, again, I studied in the conscious underground, which is still alive and well. You know, it's not too much about holding on to one thing. It's the understanding the self. And the self is, you can't explain it one way.
When you say conscious underground, that's like
a movement.
The conscious underground movement of the hip hop community? Like KRS-One or
it's not just hip hop, you know what I'm saying? But
just in general.
Yeah. There's teachers in that world too, you know what I'm saying, that I studied with or I studied about, you know? And that influenced my work too. And that's how I got into comedic science. Like I said, Muata Ashby was one of them. There's many teachers under there that are beautiful, you know? And it's not just hip hop, you know what I'm saying? It's indigenous African, you know? It's just learning about self, brother. It's learning about self. You know, knowledge of self, knowledge of people, have an understanding of people, who exist, who did this, who did that, you know, who added on, who subtracted, you know?
Yeah. So I wouldn't even say like you're artists from any culture anymore, like because there's so many puzzle pieces and you're trying to like incorporate it, but also not let them encase you like a box that holds everything separate from the oneness. I guess like I'm always trying to figure out like, okay, so like Terms, he's a trippy alien. He's like, you know, decoding reality. Is he an ancient alien? Is he an old school human who's had many lives? Is he both?
Well, I mean, okay, so we're gonna get into Pisces. We're the last sign. So we carry the energies of all the signs.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could say that. You know what I'm saying? But there's, like I said, there's, you know, you're talking about the alien stuff. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, I get deep into that. But to me, alien is interdimensional, you know, existence. You know, and that runs through us. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. I've seen orbs come in and out. I see them more now than ever.
Oh yeah, you got psychic abilities?
Low-lying orbs. Amazing, brother. And I've talked about it online too. And I'm not scared of talking about that stuff now.
This is the kind of show where you can talk about anything, and people are like to hear people being honest.
People like to box you too. You know?
I don't care. I'm a liberated man myself.
Yeah,
like people
yeah.
can call me a million things and fuck it.
Yeah, but I've communicated. Oh yeah, I've communicated, and I stay in contact with the Egung. The Egung is our dead ancestors. I talk to them all the time. You know, and I just feel like, okay, so we're gonna talk about now, what's in this time. I just feel like in this time, we're now learning that a lot of things that they taught us back then, it was just to control us. It's not solid. It wasn't, a lot of things we were being taught, they were learning too. They didn't understand it and they gave it to us, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that we were taught, I try not to go into that world. So I'm okay with talking about interdimensional energies. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
About how the ancestors are hanging out with us right now. I made sure of that. It's right there. That's why I put that there, because I want that energy, that presence to be among us. Especially some of my best friends passed away that used to back up my art. And that's another reason why I still do my art too, man, because they were so like determined to help me. You know, like Ras G, you know, I did his album covers, and Ras G was like a guru to me and consistent of my work. You got to keep going, Terms, and we lost him too, you know. My boy Jesus, which is, we called him Carpenter. He was, you know, he was the strength to, when I was living in the Bay. He was like the strength to my, everything I created. So that's a service to them. But it's also service to the energy, brother. It's also service to the energy of, I mean, it's funny because they call the creator. And what's the action of a creator? To stay creative. I'm a service to the act of creating, you know?
Yeah.
Forever.
I feel every human is doing a service to God.
Right.
Because we're creating reality through us,
Yeah.
and then God gets to experience like what it is to be a little human with, you know, limited abilities
Wow,
and
bro.
a limited physical reality. That's very frustrating at times. But we're out here experiencing it because outside of this, it's unlimited and it's almost too easy. So you get to appreciate the limitation at some point and what you can do in it and still display your godly powers.
It's infinite. You know what I'm saying? Even death, like I've been talking about that mortality lately, and they're not defined. These people, oh, well, you just die. No, bro. Don't tell me that, because that's some ancient, that's not ancient. That's some like a couple of years ago you came up with this through some scientist or something, you know? That is not solid, you know what I'm saying? It's not solid. Even, you know, quantum levels is not solid. We are vibrating energy. So let's start talking about those things, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Let's start, you know, I'm talking just to the people. Let's start talking about those things, because we need to redefine, you know, transitioning, creating, you know, the magic of it, you know? It's works of magic, you know, it's the movement. So, you interviewed Congo.
Yes.
I'm doing this, but I'll tell you a story about one of the album covers that I did for him in 2012.
Mm-hmm. Which album?
The green one.
Green is all I need or something.
So I'm sitting there, I have this crate, and I'm drawing it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm drawing the different gods. And, you know, we've always been like that, you know what I'm saying? Even as Rastas, we understood the powers of different energy gods. Mm-hmm. And I'm drawing them, and then I'm going like this, and I'm moving the colors, and I'm like, yo, man, I feel like I'm moving Ouija, like a Ouija board. Mm. And if you look at that album cover, there's a Ouija board behind it.
Okay.
So I added that energy to it, showing that when I was creating, I was moving these gods around, and they were giving me answers of how, you know, what placed him there. And then, you know, I gave it to John, and he loved it. He still has it. Mm-hmm. He still has it. So, you know what I'm saying? That's
so it is
the levels of creating and what works through you. So during that time, that specific piece, that was working through me. The thoughts of, you know, the movement of Ouija, but it also circulates, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up, if you look at it, behind it, like hidden, it's a board, you know? You know, and that's what I'm saying. Like I think with you, it works like that too. I'm sure that each piece does have its own energy or entity or working through you.
Do you feel paintings themselves can be carriers of spirit?
Yeah.
Like say like you really work with a painting and you do some kind of like wizardry, and then boom, there's an entity that's now attached to the painting, hopefully a good, positive one that emanates.
I believe it's positive, because you can feel it. You can feel your work. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I know you when you create, I'm sure you feel that too. Mm-hmm. You'll feel like, wait, I don't know about this, you know? Let me move some stuff around. So I believe that my work is more positive than a negative, you know? If not, I wouldn't create it, because I'd feel it. I'd be like, nah, I don't want to put this out there. You know, and I try my best. I've always been like that too. I've always tried my best, even though I'm not perfect, but I try my best to push positive energy through the works. But does each one carry something? Yeah, I believe so.
Nice.
Because it's just like the alphabet. You got A, B, C, D. You got numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got certain energies behind each one, each 2, each 3, each 4. Like if we were to give them numbers, you know what I'm saying? Let's say, but I believe that each one carries its own energy. Yeah.
And does this energy or spirit or egregoric consciousness, does it come from somewhere else, or do we create it in the moment of making that painting? Or maybe it's like a combination between the spirit that guides us and what we were creating the painting, and then they combine to be a new flower?
Yeah, it's kind of like both. I mean, because we're just a vessel, you know? Yeah, I know you know. All these things I know you know, because you're Pisces. We're born on the same day.
Yeah.
So
Free of the free. What a special day to be born.
3 is the magic number. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know?
Oh yeah? That's what it means? I love it.
Yeah. Because I grew up with that too. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what always kind of like put me in my category of styles, because I grew up understanding, you know, the supreme mathematics of the gods and earths, you know, and the supreme alphabet, you know. But then I also grew up knowing the movement of Rastafari and the Black Muslims and even the Hebrew Israelites and all that, you know, all that. I love it all, you know what I'm saying? Because it all taught me something, you know, and I incorporate it into the work, always, you know, and into my existence, you know.
In your work, you got aspects of secret language and talking about us being born the free of the free, just as Alison Gray, she also has secret language. So that's something that
interesting.
That's something that you guys got something in common. Like the alphabet you guys have created is totally different.
But it's the same vibration. I know what you're talking about.
But
the same thing. So a lot of people associate our work too. And this is what I'm saying. I don't think we know the fullness yet. Maybe they did in ancient times. I believe they did, because their way of existence was different. I mean, we're just finding, you know, the pyramids, how they have those. You heard about that?
Yeah. What do you think that's about?
Yo, imagine that, brother.
Yeah. No,
I'm just
crazy.
saying, like, I'm like.
I'm going to be in Egypt in September.
Brother, try to find out. I haven't gone yet.
Well, I'm not going to start digging.
No, but go with a good teacher and understand that.
I'm going with my friend Julia, who's a psychic, and we're gonna go at midnight, like on the DL, and we're gonna go in and just meditate.
I have some teachers that I want to go with too, but that's what I'm saying. It's like we have to allow ourselves to go deeper, you know. And there's a code in everything. There's code in everything, language and everything. I'm gonna probably repeat that 100 times. You're born 3-3. I'm born 3-3. She's born 3-3. My homeboy Sayo 3-3. Think about it. It's incredible. There's a dynamic within us that's similar. I didn't know about her, Alex Gray's wife. I did not know about her. And then I look, and she's doing codes. Okay, so I call it asemic writing, but that's not what I called it.
Asemic?
Asemic writing.
What does that mean?
So one day, this is a bunch of years back, I don't know. It's a bunch of years back. I posted the glyphs, and somebody goes, yo, that looks like asemic writing. And I was like, what does this mean? So I looked into it, and I started seeing that they call it light language, or they call it, and it's sound, they have sound for it, but they also have visual shapes and forms. But not that many people were doing it. It was very little. Now a lot of people do it. So I looked it up, and so it was a movement, a small movement. So I said, okay, I'll call it asemic writing. And asemic, it's a weird word, but one of the definition is for the observer to define it, not the creator. And I was okay with that.
Okay, so it's not for you, it's for those who will catch it.
Right, and some people have told me it's futuristic language, it's ancient language, you know, they define it. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And it'll adjust.
It's a mirror for them.
But she does it, and I didn't know that, and I'm doing it, and I'm like, what is this? And then I see some of your characters and be like, yo, man, you gotta see this back then. You gotta see some of Chris Dyer works, it looks like yours. And there's some similarities in shapes.
Yeah, like the graphic, the tribal nature of it.
But the shapes, I see shapes, you know? And I'm like, yo, there's a similarity in this. Why is this? And then I end up painting with Sale, and we're doing masterpieces together, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
What's his style?
he's a graffiti writer, but he does characters too. And,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's similar, you know, it's his form, but same energy. And we could work together. That's why me and you have never really done collabo that tight, but it'll fit. And there's something about it that I don't know about it. I don't know about it, but it works. You know, we could get somebody that knows about, we could get people that know about, you know, birth signs and stuff like that and tell us the similarities. But I think it's deeper than that. Something coded, and it's special.
Yeah,
It's very special.
I'm not gonna let the Illuminati take the free. That's the free is a trinity. It's a positive spiritual number. And
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like, you know, anything negative taken over by the cabal.
Yeah.
Hi, it's your artist friend Chris Dyer, and I'm here to encourage you to tap into the mountain's ancient medicine with the #1 shilajit distributor in North America. Vivemedics shilajit delivers 84 plus essential minerals and fulvic acid to ignite energy, sharpen clarity, and nourish your vitality. It's ethically harvested and scalar frequency infused for your highest resonance. Whether you choose the resin, tablets, or powder, Vivemedics Shilajit is a sacred key merging ancestral Ayurvedic wisdom with modern precision to awaken your inner light and expand your whole experience of being. Salud!
Would you say the paintings that you are doing, not now because you've already done it, you've always done this kind of like this associative, channeled, abstract, automatic writing, automatic painting, you know, not having to be clean necessarily, but there's always beauty because, you know, it's instinctual for a human to make beauty, but also it can be random and non-logical almost.
Right.
Like, I guess, yeah, I guess, what's that about? Like, what are you breaking? It's like maybe like the angel is like, okay, the angel is like cultural structure and something maybe tied to certain religions from Christianity to Rasta, etc. And let's bring in the angels into our lives, let's attract them. But then this other style is like, fuck all of this and just like a ball of energy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I don't really think like I'm not thinking fuck all this when I do it.
Okay.
I'm more like, okay, so there's different levels and different layers to it. There is a knowledge to it. There is a logic to it too.
Okay.
You know, and that's the thing about abstract art. As I get older, I'm understanding it even more than just expressive. You know, like I was explaining to you before. It's like okay. Well, first, let's say this. It's like a building. Building gets old, we got to knock it down. Let's make a newer version of it. You know what I'm saying? How is it going to be? Oh, we'll get it in. Years pass by, we knock that one down, we bring in another building. You know what I'm saying? So we're still building. Every form of the building is going to be different, especially throughout the years and the experiences of that neighborhood or whatever. So that's one. But also, the abstract stuff is I'm feeling more. I feel good grabbing the paint, putting it there, and moving it. Is direction? No, there's no direction, but the act feels so good. You know what I'm saying? The moving it, the material. You know, I'm learning more about material too. When I would just, as a graffiti writer, just get a marker and just start boo, 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 or spray can and start, you know, and thick outline and I'm done. But this is more like, yo, grab the paper, spill some water on it. Put it upside down, rub it against the floor.
Yeah.
What color did you get? And so I'm experimenting that even more now because I started around 2017 is when I started getting harder with the abstract stuff.
Yeah.
The asemic writing, you know, I've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
That comes from, okay, I'll be honest. That comes from graffiti letters, right?
Uh-huh.
But instead of, let's say I do the S like this, I'm just gonna throw it backwards and just go up like this, and then it's now no longer an S. It's a movement.
Yeah.
You know, so it becomes its own language. And then also, who was kind of doing it? Keith Haring was kind of doing shapes and forms, just black line work.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
I would do
Angel.
my tags like that. Weird, you know? And then it started evolving, you know what I'm saying? And then I started understanding that there's been codes like that written on walls forever. So I started shaping them and losing the form and more the shape. I mean, losing the, like, let's say if it's an S, it's no longer an S. It's a shape, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And each one, some people say it looks like little people. Some people say, they'll say the funniest things or the most intense things, you know what I'm saying? Like future language. Some people say, oh, it looks like somebody in a wheelchair, really weird, you know, the sign or the,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I get different responses, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
So like when you were explaining all this, I was like, oh, so like abstract art is almost like a demolition of the old structure, so and something new can be born. But
Yes.
oh yeah, it is. But it's also kind of like, because you're telling me about like you feeling the paint, it's just pure feeling.
Yeah.
And it's no longer about the final results. It's like, I'm just doing it and I'm feeling good and this is how it looks.
Right.
And if it looks good to somebody else, cool.
Right.
Either way, I feel like I gotta do this right now.
Yeah.
And the audience is less important than the way how I feel right now creating this. Which I think is what art should always be about.
Yeah. You know, again, I like reasoning with myself. I'm always in my head. I'm sure you are too.
Extremely.
Yeah, we live in our head. That's our it's called ori, you know, our highest energy.
Yeah, that's why your head grew 2 sizes bigger.
That's why I keep it covered though, because as Pisces, we take in a lot, brother. But what we were saying, what were we saying?
We're talking about art doing it for the feeling and not so much for the visual results.
Right. Okay, so I've been talking to myself about that lately, and I believe I started off most of my life in my younger years as doing it for self. I want to get better. I want to look good. I want to sharpen my skills. Now that I'm older, I love doing it for the people. Now, are they going to accept it? I don't know. But do I love creating art for people? Yes, bro. I know you do too, bro.
We want people to like our
and
art.
it's not buying it. It's just like somebody to come in and be like, yo, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Resonate.
I have people come in, and that, now that I'm older, I think that overpowers the selfishness of it. You know, the me. Now it's more like, damn, I created this, and you feel that. You know, sometimes you know, I'll be like, well, not here. I can't do it here, but you know, in my house, I'll be like, yeah, take it.
Yeah.
If you're really feeling that piece, take it home.
But you like when, obviously you like when people like your art, but you like connecting to the audience other than your own self-expression.
Right.
It's ideal when there's a full circle, both that you're in full expression and that somebody else can receive your full expression.
Yeah. Layers, you know, it's all layers. So but now I'm older now, it feels good, man, when people, you know, really feel it, you know what I'm saying? And even those ones that you're explaining, the ones that I'm just vibing on, it's almost like, but you're leaving that energy on it too, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it's very ballsy and ethical even that you do art that breaks from what already worked. You had things that worked, era you always want, like...
Or return to it too, just you know?
Yeah, boop, boop. And it's not like you get to abandon the old.
Yeah.
Like same with me, like I'll try new things and I'm like, I know this thing's not as good, but it's different.
Yeah.
And I like to try something different, and maybe I'll just grab a little piece of this and bring it back to the old thing and add a new aspect to it and so on.
You know what I call it? Collaborating with your old selves. You know, I told my homeboy the other day, he's a young artist and he paints amazing. He's best friends with my son. My son is doing art too, but he's doing fashion, one of my sons. And his best friend paints realistic, right? Like, you know, beautiful, it's amazing. Oil paintings, but then he does abstract. And I told him, you know what? Do this. And he's young too. He's one of the future masters. I see it. I told him, collaborate with yourself. Get that abstract you and get that, more realistic you and do a piece together. You know what I'm saying? And, I believe that now. You know what I'm saying? I collaborate with my old self, jump in and out of those, now that I'm older. Now, that's what, there's a lot of, we underestimate, within the world of being human, the importance of getting older. I know it's just a number and blah, blah, blah. We're one, like John says, Congo, we're 1 year old the whole way. But
yeah, he resists that whole age paradigm.
Yeah, that's my brother. I love him. And I agree with that. I could say I'm 1 year old, but we've gathered information. We've created ourselves. Can we live forever? Maybe. I don't know. We haven't, not yet. There's been certain gods that have lived forever. Certain energy. Energetic? Yes, we live forever.
Yeah, our consciousness.
Forever.
Yeah.
We've been here, we've been there, we come and go. Energy is forever. So yes. But I kind of like strayed a little bit, but I'm always, But yeah, the abstract stuff that I'm doing now, it's important for me. And I want people, that's part of the story. It's part of the story.
Well, good for you for expressing yourself fully.
Yeah.
Would you consider, and I know boxes suck, but back, in the mid 2000s, Tri-14 would invite you to be part of the visionary art shows, and you were perhaps kind of hesitant, but would you consider your art to be visionary, as in mystical visions of the other dimensions and aspects of reality?
Yes. But we're Pisces. We don't define things just by one definition. But do I put it in that category? Yes, as in other categories too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, of course. There's some interdimensional energy going on. I lead it more to the African presence in Puerto Rico, the indigenous presence in Colombia, you know what I'm saying? I trace my roots, I even have, my grandmother, I come to find out her last name is Moros, which is Moors. So I'm monk Moors, you know what I'm saying? So, and I studied all that. So, that would be the main definitions of my work. You know what I'm saying? What I've studied, my roots, my future children, that. Is it within the divine? Is it within the, yes, it's
visionary.
In there. Yeah, because, what do you mean by visionary?
Well, visionary art is the term that's being used to define the movement of art that depicts mystic visions from other dimensions or other states of consciousness.
I would say a lot of those, I've looked at it and I tried to put my art next to it. And some of that stuff is really good. You know what I'm saying? I don't see graffiti in it. I don't see too much loose.
Light?
Okay, I don't see, I don't see too much loose line, like abstract. There is. Let me not say that. But the works that I see are super clean.
The technique has to be polished realism in many cases.
Yeah, Alex Gray, super clean. I don't think I've ever seen him do splash.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has, but predominant,
paintings,
But imagine if he did a whole, how he did the mirrors and all that stuff? Mm-hmm. Imagine he did that just
raw.
Insane.
Yeah. Explosion
of energy. You know what I'm saying? Just letting it,
I don't know if it's in his personality, maybe a little bit. It maybe right off a psychedelic a journey, I think he could allow himself to. There's a couple pieces where I'm like, okay, that's.
But he has done stuff that I would think would destroy lines. Because I heard once that, wasn't he shaved half his head, stood in the North Pole, spun around, is that true?
Yeah.
On tripping. That to me is destruction of lines, borders, and you know what I'm saying?
He definitely, well, the whole definition of gray is I'm either white or black, I'm gray, I'm in the middle, I'm a mix, I'm the oneness, I'm the nothingness.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to explore that, just explore it. But, so visionary, not as much, but interdimensional.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I'll place my in that category. Yes. More than just visionary, it's interdimensional because I feel like I'm working with, different, like we go through portals. You know what I'm saying? They're opening portals all the time, and those things are jumping into us to create.
That's where once again I feel like your work relates more to Alison Gray's work more than Alex's, because her whole thing is order, chaos, and the sacred language. So like there's pieces of yours like that one that I'm seeing there. One is very like it's still order and it's got a beautiful like composition and stuff, but it's kind of like wild on one side, and the other one's more like here's the lines, and this one is like kind of chaotic in a beautiful way. Like chaos doesn't mean like ugly or desordenado.
No, but I mean, okay, so that piece you're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's reading the codes, but it's coming from loose. It's just like that one up there.
When you say loose, you mean light?
Chaos.
Chaos.
Because we come out of chaos, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know, and we learn, and we build polarities within ourselves. That's that piece up there. The angel split.
Yeah.
It's light and dark, which if you want to call dark good, light bad, it doesn't matter. That's not. It's just light and dark, and the inside. It doesn't say anything. It's not a letter, but it's the chaotic birth of these two. We're coming out of here, out of a polarity, a duality, a galaxy of. I used to call it dualaxy. You know what I'm saying? Where, there's this and there's this, but in it is the mess that we, boom, come out of, to be able to unify. Yeah, so.
It's almost like a shamanic journey where we are a mess and we're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm throwing up to the side. I don't know what's up and down.
Yeah.
But after that, you're just so like, now I'm the balance of the whole universe.
Yeah. It's crazy because, okay, that's the other thing about the visionary artist. I've never done shrooms. I push shrooms because I love to cook them. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. And I think that mushrooms is a life form that is godly. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's you take it for the psychedelics or whether you eat it, it's so good for the body. You know what I'm saying? So
rewires you.
Yeah, and then you eat it, and oyster mushrooms or lion's mane, and you drink it. It's so, and I could get deeper with that because I believe that certain parts of our body has that element of mushroom. You know what I'm saying? And mushrooms were here before humans, but within the visionary, I know that they do shrooms. And they do a lot of ayahuasca. I haven't done ayahuasca yet. My Baba wants me to do ayahuasca. I've done the toad, which is, the cleansing of the body, not the psychedelic one,
the combo.
The combo. I've done combo a couple of times.
Yeah.
For the healing of the body, for my body. Because, I go through, the diabetic stuff.
Oh, yeah, you gotta.
So I do that a lot, and, I'm super conscious. But I've never, I've heard that a lot of those artists, that's what they do. They go on these trips to create. And I
don't like that definition.
No, I'm not defining it. I'm saying I've heard. No. That's
different people got different intentions.
Right.
And personally, I feel we should do plant medicines.
Yes.
Not strictly, because I don't like rules, but like with the intention of healing. And if visions come out of there and there's art that needs to be expressed, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
But to do drugs, psychedelics, medicines, so I can get my visions and do a painting, I'm less about that intention myself, but to each their own.
Yeah, you define it because that's what I'm saying. Like if in that world that's what they're doing, probably. Eventually I'm going to do ayahuasca because I need to communicate, but she will contact me. She'll be like, you got to do it now. Ayahuasca, and I know because I've been there. That's the thing. I have been amongst people doing all this and stuff. And us Pisces, man. Okay, so here's an example. Many years ago, we went to the beach. 3 of my homeboys, one passed away, rest in peace. And I was there. And we were at the beach late at night. They all did shrooms. Heavy. And we're talking about like 1999, 98, Miami here. And they started tripping. And I started tripping too.
Oh yeah, you felt it by contact, huh?
Right, contact mushroom. So we were doing it was one of the most amazingest nights I've ever experienced without taking it. So
you must have some psychic abilities.
So yeah, but so do you. That's what I'm saying. The 3-3, and even 3-5. I've met somebody 3-5, and there's something about the Piscean energy that we don't need to take anything to become that. Like just breath. I've been there, but I've sent myself to other places just sitting there, just like this. You know, and my mind's telling me, hey, you need to control yourself. No, but I want to take myself there without doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe that we have that. So that's how I've experienced, because a lot of people bug out, terms,
What about Iboga, which is more African style?
Oh, but Iboga's the most potent one ever. Have you done it?
No.
My Baba does it.
I don't think I want to.
My Baba, I have a Baba La. I've had teachers in my life, all my life. But right now, my Baba, he takes you on Iboga trips. And he'll hang out with me and he'll be like, oh man, right behind that tree is my ancestor. Let's move over here. Like Iboga brings them out into this energy field. Like it's no longer like I'm tripping, I see them. It's like Iboga opens up that world to bring. He said that he saw all his ancestors one time. Iboga's the most potent one. To me, is the most potent. I don't know if I could do it, brother.
Well, it's a 3-day diper situation.
Right.
I don't know.
Would you do it?
I could, but from doing 5-MAO Bufo, I learned I don't have to do them all, and some might be too strong for me. And because I'm sensitive, I don't want to short circuit myself. I don't want to ruin my avatar by just doing it all just because I can.
Right.
So I'm respect.
I love that
I'm Aya kind of dude. Yeah. Plant medicine, feminine, it's good, vegetarian.
And she'll call me. I know she's gonna call me one day soon.
And I would imagine doing the Colombian style yahe would be so good. That's a strong kind of ayahuasca, but it's the Colombian styles and.
Yeah. I did do the coca leaves as tea. Oh my gosh, so good. I would drink that right now, brother. The coca leaves as a tea.
Yeah.
So good. Tastes good, gives you energy. I did that. I did which is the one that you blow into your nose? Rapel. I did that one time. That was good energy. It's all energy.
Yeah.
I'm not against it.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
tobacco is a beautiful cleansing.
Oh, I smoke all the time.
Yeah.
To me, tobacco is a connection with my ancestors, the Egun, and it's also a connection with, which my Egun would be Haile Selassie. Would be.
What is an egum? Is it
Egun
egum
is your ancestors. Egungum. It's called Egungum.
Okay.
Ogun, when you mentioned it, that's one of the Orishas. The Orishas of metal and steel and that energy field. Machete and drills and guns too. But yeah, so the Egun is another way of saying your ancestors.
Okay. And this is from which particular path?
Ifa.
Ifa.
Yeah, so I hold Ifa dear to my heart too.
What is that?
It's African Nigerian form of Orisha practice, of the Orishas and the ancestors and
African mysticism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not explain it perfect. I would go to Mbabalao, you know what I'm saying, that you find reliable, and you go and sit with them. But I do get readings, But also I talk to His Majesty too. It's not like I'm not talking to His Majesty, All of it deserves, if it did me good in my life and gave me strength, it deserves its praise.
Yeah, why should our altar only be to one flavor of connection with the Most High? When we ourselves, you're Colombian, you're Puerto Rican, you got all these different bloods and lineages, not that your avatar even defines who your soul is, which probably has 1 million lives, and even many of them probably alien lives, and time goes on forever, and billion years, and eternities. So why just be like, well, I'm only going to put this one, character on my altar?
Right. That's like if we're going to go paint a canvas,
To only use one color.
One color. I'm just gonna use this color, you know? And you can for that canvas, but the next one you probably won't. You know? And that's the evolution of self, you know? You start off with an empty canvas. What color am I gonna start with? So I chose to use black. That's why I always wear black.
Why is that?
Because out of blackness comes all color. To me, in my existence and my understanding of self, out of black came every color that exists.
All colors turned into black. Or is it all
came out?
Came out.
You
I
know,
don't understand that.
dark matter. Everything comes out of dark matter.
Or the nothingness.
The nothingness is dark.
The nothingness is the everythingness in a way.
So to me, it's dark. It's a dark matter. It's a blackness that gives birth to all colors. You know, and
so you would not wear white, or?
Oh no, I wear white. Yeah. I'm just saying, but predominantly, I like when I'm creating. You always see me wear black.
Because when I was taking that Umbanda retreat,
You're supposed to wear white.
they were very much about white as a sign to the
Cleanse.
spirits that you are
Clean.
a good, pure soul.
Right, and but you know, there's different. You know, like Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Garvey says, "Wear black." So you know, as growing up Rastafari, I said, I'm gonna wear black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
well, we choose, like, I'm in
Right.
blue today, and
Yeah.
you know.
I just feel comfortable like this. It feels really good, you know. And even though it's so hot, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, you look good.
look, feel. There's a whole other thing. Yeah, I'm always working on my health, you know. And that's been one of the reasons why we haven't fully, because you know, I've slowed down. You know, the last 3 years I've slowed down.
Why is that?
I feel like it's everything. I feel like it's my health. I feel like the earth is changing. It is changing. We're getting a new earth. The people, I mean, there's new definitions, you know what I'm saying, that we have to adjust to and learn. So to get up and go, it's really hard for me to do that. Because I like to understand. So I'm trying to understand this, understand.
How is your nervous system dealing with the rising frequencies of our planet right now? Because I feel like I'm getting electrocuted many days.
Anxiety. I have to. Now is the best time to talk to yourself. It's the best to wake up and be like, Terms, how you doing? Welcome to another day. You know, what are the things happening? You know, it's incredible, man. These are the times that we've been always talked about when we were young. You know what I'm saying? The negatives and the positives of it. And that's the thing too. I've been conscious. You know, I got into the consciousness at a very young age. You know, people telling me to do good, to live good, eat good, treat people good, let the hungry be fed, the naked clothed, age protected, infants cared for. You know what I'm saying? Constantly, all this hitting me about, you know, make yourself a better person. We try our best, man, you know? And there's been times when I'm not. I'm horrible, you know what I'm saying? But I embrace that now too as an aspect of learning about myself. And it changes as you get older. There's so much wisdom in getting older, but there's a lot of dumb stuff too. But there is you said it perfect, man. The armor that you carry. You know, some of them are positive, some of them are negative, you know, but we learn how to detach and take this one off and replace it with this one, you know. And, you know, we try to stay healthy to get there to that, you know, that new beginning. You know, I don't even think it's an ending anymore, brother. How do I have conversations with people that aren't here all the time? And I feel them, you know, it's like a response, you know, okay, cool, it's crazy, you know, I mean, whatever, crazy is so
No,
dumb.
crazy is good. It's like
you can't. How do you define? You know what I'm saying? Like I see. You know.
We've been imprisoned in all these mind cages that to dare to escape it and look like we're crazy is actually liberation. It's like, can I just be whatever the fuck I am right now without any judgment, including the judgment for myself, mostly the judgment for myself. Yeah. Because at the end, like the judgment of others, like, fuck it.
Right.
But the one that's like my biggest punisher is my inside punisher. Is like, whoa, Chris, don't get too weird there.
Right. But you know what? I mean, most of our, you know, a lot of our teachers are a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think crazy activates certain things to bring in or for us to observe it as that, to understand more and to allow newer things to come in. And even people that block it, you know what I'm saying? That itself builds, everything builds, like I said, everything's a language, everything's building something inside of you. So you gotta be somewhat conscious with yourself of, what's working through you, and let go of the things that no longer work for you and allow these new things that might seem a little weird. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people are bugging out terms, but I jump back and forth. We're Pisces, man. We're beautiful. We could jump back and forth. We're fish.
Mm-hmm. We're flowing.
Yeah. So one day I'll do the character. One day I'll just do straight up letters. You know what I'm saying? One day I'll do the, feel like I'm connected with interdimensional channeling. You know what I'm saying? Some of the graffiti is that now, but back in the days it was more of like, building, more like an architect. Like how am I going to structure this? And there is spiritualness, and like you said, we were talking spirituality and everything. Everything has a spirit, so
yeah. There's nothing non-spiritual in a way.
Yeah.
This show is brought to you by iPath, which is an awesome brand of skate shoes with many different beautiful styles, which are very comfortable for skating. They protect my feet. And also, it's a brand I've been using since many years ago in the 2000s, when they were very popular with every single Rasta skater out there, including myself. And yeah, I always enjoyed using them. And I still skate today. I'm a little bit more rusty, and I'm mostly an artist, not a skater, but they're very comfy on my feet. I enjoy them, and I have the best of times skating them. Also, they are the original shoe that had a hidden pocket for you to hide your herb in and enjoy a nice session after the skate session. So yeah, thank you so much, iPath. You can get them from iPath.com.
Tell me a little bit of this Kemetic side of your path or the cultures that attract you. Like, what is some teachings about ancient Egypt that has like spiked your interest in being like, ooh, I gotta get into this culture too? Like, what's, because I don't know much about it. Like, we don't know, like, it's from how long ago?
Well, there's teachers. I mean, I could give you what I say, but I always say, turn to the teacher. Like, if you want to know about Rastafari, you go to Ras Flaco or Ras Ivai or Mutu Baruga. If you want to know about, Kemetic science, you go to Raul Neferaman, or you go to Baba Phil Valentine. There's teachers for that. Asking me what? I mean, of course, the art captures you quick. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to understand, why are they this? Why are they carrying this? You know what I'm saying? And then you start learning about the stories, which is the story of Asar, Aset, and Heru, which is, that is where the Trinity comes from. One of the Trinities, because there's infinite. There's infinite threes. There's infinite 44s. There's infinite, 3, 6, and 9s. But the question was,
what
the Kemetic science.
Kemetic
science. Yeah, I mean, the 42 precepts of Ma'at, you try your best to live up to those. That's where the 10 Commandments came from. The 42 precepts of Ma'at, which is balance, but the balancing yourself, and just the teachings, man, you know what I'm saying? Of light and energy, of form, of shape, facing this way, why your leg this forward and these hands up, you know what I'm saying? And the importance of the sun, and direction, and telling us the days. Those codes are beautiful. And it's just, I like to go more back, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's dope now is we're getting, this is beautiful, bro. They lied to us, brother. They lied to us. We've been here longer than.
What do you think is, Kemet, the civilization of ancient Egypt, this is like what, 10, 12,000 years ago?
I don't know the exact, me and numbers. It's funny because I love numbers, but but yeah,
who is to know, really,
I think it's older than that. That was the last of.
And that's just like post-Atlantean flood or whatever, the fall, and post-Lumeria, and
it wasn't instant. We're talking about thousands of years of knowledge, brother.
Some people say we're at
Isn't that beautiful?
Some people say we're at version 7 of humanity. Like, this is the 7th time we've like come from the dirt
right.
all the way up.
Right.
And maybe this
Yeah.
time we won't fucking make it all fucking go to shit.
I don't know.
I think we'll make it this time. Are you like optimistic about the current process? I know the world looks dark, but it only looks dark because like the dark ones are falling and they're doing everything in their power to like take us down with them.
Yeah, I mean, do I look for a brighter future? Yes, I have children. I want them to have a beautiful world. Hell yeah. Do I want that? Yes. Is it gonna happen? Man, that's me. You know, it's like we gotta tell the people to, you know, take it there. It's really up to us, brother. You know what I'm saying? The earth is communicating with the sun. It's shaking the earth. They're having communication, brother. Like, I learned that more now than ever that they're talking their language. You know what I'm saying? And the sun sends the message, and the earth reacts to the message.
Mm-hmm.
Even the heat, it's sending energy. The earth turns it into the heat. I'm just learning that now, and that's amazing.
Well, we're
You know what I'm
being
saying?
woken up.
Right. So the sun will tell it. The big mother, Earth, will tell the sun, you know, I need some help. You know, I need to cleanse a little bit. The sun will send the energy, and then
There'll be an earthquake here.
earthquakes, and that's what's happening, brother. It's incredible. But at the same time, we also have the rulers that know how to create those things. So we're such an incredible place to be at. That's what I'm saying. Right now,
it's very unknown what's happening because we don't know if it's CERN, like fucking.
Yeah, you know about CERN, so, or it could. But I believe, you know, what the teachers are saying. I believe it is a shift. You know, it is a new earth. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a lot of people, you know, becoming aware and having an understanding and seeing how heavy the earth could get, especially when it comes to children, brother. The whole thing of, you know, that's why, you know, the whole thing of killing children and all this whole pedophile stuff like that is just levels of
evil.
Yeah, pure.
Which
you know
is
what I'm saying?
the anti-God.
Or which is something that we need to learn from, not let it sit there. It popped up.
Everybody is learning about it these days. Even normal people are learning about it. And it's hard for some. Like my mom was like, "Don't talk to me about this." It's like, "My mom, it's fine."
She's from my mom is like that. I love her to death, but they're from the old earth.
Well,
that's what we call them too. Yeah. We call them old earth.
And
you know?
we love them and we appreciate them while they're still alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, sorry, Mom, I won't bring this back up
But
anymore.
we have to speak to the youth too, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. My children listen to a lot of stuff that I say, and a lot of my artwork too. Like, it's really important for me to, you know, I'm not the best father, you know, but I'm also trying to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm working on it daily. So, you know, whatever I do is a reflection to them. So I have to be conscious. And I think we should just start being conscious of this future that's happening right now, you know, because our bodies aren't going to be here for long. Salud.
Gracias.
Our bodies aren't going to be here for long, you know what I'm saying? And they're next, you know what I'm saying? What are we going to leave for them? So I think, and my art is part of that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, because we always hope that as artists that when we pass, the legacy lives long. Some artists don't. Some do. Some are here forever. You know what I'm saying? So if that happens with me, I want it to be something to keep growing the minds instead of taking away from existence, adding on.
Do you feel the youth that's coming through these days are a higher level consciousness, family of souls that are here to volunteer in the awakening of humanity?
Yes, I agree with that 100%. 100, more than 100%, 101, because they are, yeah, but I mean, okay, so we could say, well, some of them are crazy or they're hood or whatever. That's because of us.
Well, there's everything.
Right.
And we can focus on any version of human.
But what I've seen, they're amazing, brother.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They don't want to be part of this governmental setup, and man, they're beautiful.
And there's so much information now.
And the government is scared of them, bro.
Oh yeah, right.
To
Well,
the
that's
point-
why they're sedating them
Right,
in every
exactly.
way
To the
possible.
point that they're trying, how do we control,
Yeah.
you know? But they're amazing. I love my sons and my daughters, and, you know, like to see them to conquer.
The
More than me, bro. Oh, man, you know, that makes me happy.
well, they
bro.
better get better than us.
Yeah.
But like the more Babylon comes down strong and it's like, okay, now we're gonna fucking have chemtrails and now we're gonna put flock cameras on every block and now we're gonna, you know, do this thing that makes no sense and go to war with this thing that makes no sense and like keep on making it worse and worse, economical, all the bad things. It's because the people are awakening and like I feel it in my heart, I feel it inside myself, but I only live inside myself. But I also like it gives me optimism like the 144,000 awakened souls of the prophecies will create that critical mass and crescendo to bring everybody else and be like, oh, we've been manipulated for thousands of years and we don't like this and we actually have power and blam, no more. We want an earth of liberation.
Yeah, and we just got to support it. You know, we just got to support. I support what my children do. You know, I do my best. You know, but yeah, and then we also have to support and give energy to the energy that it doesn't have to be completely good, but uplifting. You know, directing us a direction that, you know, because again, you know, I learned from the bad too. You know, but there has to be. You know, I think we're leaning too much towards, you know, and that's a comedic science too, you know, the heart and the feather, you know what I'm saying? If your heart weighs more, you know what I'm saying? Then you end up in a realm of negative energies, you know? But I believe that, you know, that we have to, you know, turn to, it's telling us to turn to that, you know? I believe it's telling us to turn to more of you know, being a strength instead of being a weakness, you know.
It seems like in that philosophy of the feather and the stone.
The heart.
The heart, the heart and the feather. So your heart's got to be as light as a feather to be balanced, to be access to the Most High.
Yeah.
It seems like you have to at least be 50% good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a little more.
Would you say most humans?
I don't think it's supposed. I don't think it's supposed to balance. I think it's supposed to, you know, rise.
Okay, lighter than a feather. Okay.
It doesn't. You know, balance is just. I mean, we use balance a lot because we're in chaos. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to adjust. But to me, yeah, we do need balance, but. You know, we have to learn, you know what I'm saying? We have to stay learning from it.
Does the good have to beat the bad? Like if this is a battle between good versus evil, does the good beat the bad? Or does the good surrender so much?
I don't, if you're talking about a human, I don't think that's the question. I think should be, did that person get to live a full life? Bad and good through it all.
Well, that's my question.
Yeah.
Like,
because to me, if I don't know if good is gonna win, I don't know if bad is gonna win, but we need to live. We need to.
We have a full experience.
Yeah, man, of that existence. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe that some of us want good, some of us want bad. You know what I'm saying? There's the you know, chess. You know, like the placements. You know.
Do you believe God wants the good to win, or does God just want to have all the experiences?
I think it's the experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gods. I don't believe in one God.
You don't believe in one God?
No.
You don't believe like the absolute that then splits up into like head gods.
I believe there's hundreds and thousands, and that. Just as there's hundreds, thousands of us, you know what I'm saying? There's hundreds, I think there's hundreds, thousands of energies, you know, that we could connect to, you know. I think we do become gods, you know what I'm saying? And when we transition, we enter levels of godliness, you know. But this one God, it's always like, you know, like, but what happened, you know what I'm saying? But I like talking to different gods, you know, I like talking to different, you know, of my friends that passed away, you know what I'm saying? Of teachers that have passed away. I like talking to different gods there. So, you know, one God is kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm sure a lot of people talk to a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm not trying to limit anybody and be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's
Yeah,
only
no,
this
yeah.
one.
Yeah, no,
like
but-
I believe in the oneness God, but I also believe in the fractalization of reality. And
Right.
maybe I'm at the basement, or maybe my germs or my cells are the basement of reality, or maybe there's a whole quantum universe in the tip of my fingers. I don't know.
I love that.
But in the end, everything ideally
Yeah.
is like one consciousness manifesting in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
And
I believe sometimes that, because I love that. I'm getting more and more into that. I don't know, about the going, all the way to court, and it was a Planck. It's Planck.
Yeah, or the string theory.
Well, beyond, it's more quantum.
Quantum.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought string theory is part of quantum.
Yeah.
But
No, it's different.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, it's different. But I know that just those levels, like,
have you seen that the government's starting to talk about quantum stuff?
yeah, of course, man. They have the CERN thing going on. Well, they just shut it down, but.
What do you think that's about, really? Like, of course, they're going to present it as like, hey, we got new technologies for you because we love you so much. But what's really happening?
Control. They just want to control, man. They fear. They fear. I mean, think about it. You're going to go to Egypt. Those cylinders are down there. There's tons of people saying it's not there. They're saying it's there. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's one of the things that I've heard recently that has changed the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Change everything. That you're going to have these gigantic cylinders.
It goes, what, 7 kilometers under Earth? Like,
Okay, first
Okay,
they don't know how to move the rocks, but you're going to create these cylinders that go all the way down. I believe, you know what? Electricity, energy. I believe that people could, in those times, could transform themselves into energy, go and come back. You know what I'm saying? And come back into the body. I believe that.
Yeah.
And I believe that a lot of those folks, during those times were able to, okay, I'm going to transition to a different type of energy somewhere else. I believe so. And they were communicating from Peru. Well,
got some
Peru
weird
is
stuff too.
Brother, you're from Peru, right?
Yeah, I grew up there.
And Antis too.
Yeah.
Well, Peru right now is amazing, brother. What they're finding there, and how I believe that they were communicating through energy, because you have temples over here, you have temples over here, you know what I'm saying? Same structure, just different gods, you know what I'm saying? Because of the culture. But there was some form of light where they could communicate.
And then there's the underground world.
But that's part of it. Yeah, that's part of
Yeah.
it. The underground. Well, that's it's going to get deeper because in Kemetic science, who they call Osiris, Asar, he is an energy of the underground. So they're going to find worlds down there. But I'm telling you, man, I don't understand what's happening with these people. It's just control and their money. That's all they're worried about. Their control and their money. Their control and their money. Who's going to work for them? They don't want to think outside that box. They don't want to put us outside that box. You know what I'm saying? But there's so much stuff, you know what I'm saying, that, I don't know, that'll elevate us. You know what I'm saying?
Seems like the truth is coming out, though, more and more. It seems like just the energies are not allowing for the lies to cover up the truth anymore. And they're almost like, oh, our gig is up. We gotta start disclosing a little bit. Maybe, still manipulate people through like, oh, there's aliens. Oh, but be afraid of them so we can buy more weapons.
We don't need to. I don't know who they're not disclosing to you or me, because we've been talking aliens. Well, I've been drawing aliens. We've been communicating. We probably been communicating, because aliens to me is not this little green thing that came. Those are those orbs that we're seeing go through the world. I love seeing those, brother. I've been seeing them. And they're little black ones too. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be just chilling in my bed, and all of a sudden it zooms, and I've tried to record them. I did get one energy field behind my door, but that's a whole other reasoning. But you see, these things is from nowhere going to nowhere. And they're not bugs, you know what I'm saying? They're like bugs. And I have this definition of bugs too. I believe that certain bugs can go through dimensions. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so small that they're in a whole. You understand? There's layers. You know what I'm saying? And that's why my graffiti has layers, right? Because there's so much to it. You know what I'm saying? There's different existences in each layer that we're not even conscious of, because what are we in, the 3-dimensional?
That's
Yeah.
what they say. Yeah, I feel I'm at 4 myself.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
sure you go to 4 with the energies that you take and all that.
Well, when I I mostly work with ayahuasca, but lately I've been working with DMTX, which is the injected kind of DMT, which
Yeah.
keeps you in the void for like a longer period. And there,
Yeah.
I'm outside time and space for a while, like experiencing myself, but not as an individual, but as a collective consciousness that is there right now, but also I'm here as
Oh,
a
yeah.
human. So like
That's awesome,
there's
brother.
both, you know, and I imagine I'm in other places and maybe I'm having my different lives at the same time now. I don't know, it's so big. I'm too small to understand it.
Right. That's the thing too. It's like how far can the brain really get there? You know, thinking about these things, because it could switch. You know, there's little things that'll click. You know, and you'll be like, whoa. You know.
But I do feel like an alien, and I do feel like an
No, we are
interdimensional, and I
aliens.
recognize other ones too, like yourself.
I don't know anybody that they're gonna tell me. You know, first of all, like this plane that we're on, like you're gonna tell me that we're just here, you know, like.
But you're smart animals.
No, not just that. It's just like you're calling something else that we are. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You know, that's an alien over there.
Right.
They're pointing, you know what I'm saying? Let's say they're pointing from another place, pointing at us. Those are aliens over there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's very egotistical of us to
You're like, oh,
separate ourselves.
We're the original. If anything, the dolphins are the originals.
Oh, dolphins, yeah. Yeah. Mushrooms.
Sure. Really, the reptiles, really.
Yeah.
They're no longer
Well,
like the reptilian, even the reptilian
But the
Anunnaki.
mushrooms were here before reptiles.
Whoever created our
Communicating.
DNA fucking genetic manipulation
Yeah.
to bring a bunch of different...
Anunnaki, yeah. You know what's funny? Did you see what I did here? You know how they carry the bag? And they have this long beard? So I got my bag and I took a picture of myself because, you know, they wear head wraps and they have beards. And I don't know, man, I've always thought, I feel like one. You know what I'm saying? Like I come from that lineage. It's just fun thought. But I took a picture next to the drawing and I kind of like look like, the only thing their beards are longer.
Yeah.
They might be a little more cut up.
What is this?
What did you say?
Anunnaki?
Anunnaki, yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen them? Or some of
Well, my definition of Anunnaki is like an ancient alien who created humanity, which perhaps are the reptilians who shapeshift into politicians and movie stars. But
Yeah.
what were you thinking? Particular culture?
Yeah, no. There's the aliens. Some of them are because there's different ones.
Okay.
Oh, we're going.
No, there's so
Are we
many.
going in?
Wow.
Because some of them are have, you know, and do craft out of them. You know what I'm saying? Humans. Yeah. We could get deep into that.
Well, how about this question? Yes, we're interdimensional, so in that way we are aliens from different dimensions, perhaps different planets, different lifetimes. But do you think at the same time we will be embodied as humans, which is some kind of like animal, biological, technological suit that we've been given to exist in this
A fungus,
physical world,
yeah.
and also one day see so many spaceships arriving from the sky where every human will be like, all right, well, it's undeniable. They're all here. Do you think we'll live that in our lifetime? Do you think that we'll get to the frequency we can all perceive
Like,
it?
if you want to get a deeper fit, I draw a lot of spaceships. I've always drawn spaceships, but I don't believe in like these. I don't believe like a spinning thing with lights. I don't believe in that.
You don't believe there's aliens who could have
If
spaceships
there's
of any
ships,
kind?
it's organic, or something, or energy that could cross dimensions. That's how I see it.
So it's not technological.
No, technological is going to be us. It's going to be us to create that. If we see that, it's because somebody's coming from the past, time traveling. Yes. Do I believe, if there's a bunch of ships show up, you know what I'm saying? That's the mind of humans, you know? Spaceship with lights and Darth Vader's inside of it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the sci-fi. But to me, it's more organic. It's going to be more, organic. It's going to be energy. It's going to be a mushroom.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe some like space light octopus looking
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. Why not? that more than you know, a
A
robot.
metal.
A robot comes
disc.
from us. Robots are coming from us, and if
But
they come,
maybe both are possible. I don't know.
yeah, maybe,
Because
maybe.
you're
But
never so big.
Yeah, but how I've always seen it, and I'm talking more about mushrooms, that an organic spaceship that's moved by mind. You know what I'm saying? Coming from dimensions that could cross. You know, that's how I see it. But yeah, I mean, will we see that? Yes, I think we're seeing it. I think we're seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I think we're seeing it.
Nice.
Not like thousands of them, but we're seeing things pass by. We're seeing aliens is remember I said interdimensional, or like crossing portals. Oh yeah. That's happening every day.
Well, I feel as the sun is pulsing new codes onto the earth, and the earth is awakening and communicating back and awakening herself, and the Schumann resonance is like blasting more and more.
That's a language.
I check out the Schumann resonance
that's
now
a
every morning
language,
and be like,
you see?
whoa, why did yesterday feel so hard? It's like, oh, there was these spikes in energy, and you know, it seems like we're all being awakened. I hope we get to, no, I don't hope. I am firm and I am a true believer and optimistic that we will wake up to our higher dimensional aspects and start accepting the oneness of all humans in the beauty of our particular cultures and encasements, but knowing that we're all one.
Yeah.
And I believe in utopia, and I don't believe that like negativity will ever leave the earth 100%, but I would like to see more balance where like the earth is not controlled by like 1% of creepy, destructive, selfish people. Like that seems way imbalanced.
It's useless. It's
And
almost like that.
I look forward in our lifetime to see the light return into a more balanced way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If not, what we're doing here.
Yeah, you know what's always bugged me out, that but that's how we learn, you know. But how we have to go through hardship to get to that utopia. You know, if I was this God, I'd be like, I think they've had enough. You know what I'm saying? No more, just go to utopia. You know what I'm saying? No more struggle. But that's what I'm saying. It's like the struggle itself is also a learning. A learning. You have to learn from it. That's it. Yeah. Don't continue it, because there's another one going to come. There's another struggle going to come. Learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold on to it, because the next struggle is it's gonna get worse. The next struggle is gonna come, and you're not gonna be able to go into the utopia. You know what I'm saying? Because you accumulated all the struggle without learning from it. You know, and we get creative out of it too. You know what I'm saying? We get creative. Same thing. I mean, you know, like association, the power of myths. I know you're a Joseph Campbell fan. Me too. I've been a Joseph Campbell fan, but at a young age. I'm super thankful that I was able to learn about him. But the power of myths, you know, you connect everything together. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I usually, you know, like I was saying, the images, you know what I'm saying? The struggle to get to an image, to create something, the process, enjoy the process of life, you know, and enjoy the process of not having the right paint. Now you got to struggle a little more, but learn from that. Now you got new paint, you know, incorporate that into a metaphor of life, you know what I'm saying? And that's the importance of artists too. We have to teach them about life and death and the struggles, and you know,
transmutation, alchemy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right. Science. You know, it's like a science form. I've always said science and signs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And artists speak through signs. You know, images create. Images create our reality and embed into our subconscious. I always say that. I learned that from this teacher named Ashwa Kwesi, and that's the first thing he would open up and say, images create our reality and are embedded into our subconscious. So as us artists, that's why the creator is a creative, because the images it creates our reality, but we have to be consistent with that process to create these realities that we want, the utopia, you know. So that's important for me too. That's how I've given lectures before, and that's how I started. The images that we have around us, you know, are created, are embedded into our mind, and the sounds too now. The sounds that we have create our reality. So, you know, we could blame a bunch of other people, but what we're listening to, you know, what we're seeing around us, what we're placing, we're so control of that, and we should take full control of it now, when we have the opportunity too. And when we're seeing that these guys, they're not helping us, man. They're not helping. And we do need a boost. You know, we do need a boost to that utopia.
So would you say, and I know the answer, but like I gotta make the question. It's like, can art and human expressions like music really save the day? Like it's an expression of growth, but it also stimulates growth, and perhaps we'll achieve enough growth to get out of this imbalance?
Yeah, it will. It has before. You know, and then we go into another cycle, something happens, you know, and the meteor hits the earth. We start with art first, you know that.
Uh-huh.
So if we're gonna start, I mean, I don't think everybody should be an artist. I don't believe that. But I believe that everybody should be creative. You know, if you're gonna be a doctor, be a creative doctor. Mm-hmm. You know, you're gonna be, you know, an architect, be a creative architect. You wanna be a soccer player, you know, be able to play soccer. Be, you know, creative, you know, invent new ways and take it to the next level, the next dimension, you know what I'm saying, from this, you know?
Yeah.
So do I believe art? Yeah, I believe that we have that responsibility, you know? It sucks. It sucks because it's such an intense, being an artist is, you know, we talk about it and it's so, you know, you gotta be an artist, but at the same time, you know, it comes in with that heaviness, you know? It comes in with that, you know, being broke. Most of the time I'm broke, brother. Most of the time I'm broke. And sometimes I have a lot of money too. Don't get me wrong. I live in, you know, but the consistency, the power and the consistency is what I serve, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is, because everybody's born an artist, man, but we all have our path that we could be creative on, you know? And you know, man, you know it, you know? Like from birth, I was drawing. You know, my mom saw it. My mom fed it. You know, she was never against my graffiti, never. She saw it. She's like, this is gonna save my son, you know? And so she fed it, you know? She fed that, you know? Crayons and coloring books and, you know? So, yeah, do I believe, you know, I think us being creative in everything that we do will save us. And each one of us has the tools that we use to manifest it. And, you know, whether it's spiritual too, you know, working through us, you know. It's louder than ever, brother. I believe that right now it's louder than ever, the language. You're talking about the Schumann residence? Bro, that's, you know, yelling, not yelling. You know what I'm saying? If the earth could yell.
Yeah.
You know, that's a language. So it's like, you know.
Once again, I don't know if those resonances are being manipulated or spiked artificially or what.
But you can feel it too. There's also that world too, that when you're in tune, you know, trying your best to be in tune, you know, you could cipher out, you know.
I feel the other dimension coming. Yeah. I've been feeling it for a minute and more. And sometimes when I get high just on weed while I'm painting, I'm feeling like I'm in it.
And you know, I'm gonna say this, and I want to say it to it's not just you and me. Right now, back in the days when I talked about UFOs and, you know, repatriation and all these things, it was like, oh, Terms is crazy. You know, why is he talking about these? But now, everybody's talking, like there's tons of people, you know what I'm saying? Whether they're in it, you know, real or not, that's not my business, but it's being spoken about. It's being, you know, a lot of people, like, culture is gonna be super important soon. Because you know this too. You know that the stone that the builder refused shall always be the head cornerstone. I don't understand these so-called heads of state. They don't understand that math. That's a mathematical equation. They don't understand that, because if they understood it, they would leave it alone. But the more they push it down, the more it's gonna want to rise. Mm-hmm. So I do see it coming, because the more, Palantir, they're trying to clock us.
oh, they're trying to put a big cage on us.
They want to know everything.
And we're not even bad people.
Right.
I'm not doing nothing wrong. So
Right.
Don't film me.
Right. But see, people think that, okay, I'm going to make money and that's it. No. Money comes with this power, right? This power to control people. So 2 things they don't want to lose: money and control. So people should not separate that.
Yeah.
They have to control. They have to. It's part of the whole. I don't know. Have you ever been into those worlds? Have you ever walked into those? As an artist,
Rich people worlds? Well, I only hang out with cool spiritual rich people.
Right.
The lame ones don't care about me.
But these big companies and all that, I've done artwork. One time I did artwork for a certain big company, and it's almost like my language. I had to bring in my agent to speak that language. I couldn't speak it. They're not going to listen to me.
Yeah.
They just wanted me to act,
Yeah.
to perform,
Yeah.
do the art, paint these cars, and dip.
Yeah.
But every transaction, everything was done through my agent, who's walked in with a suit, walked in nice, So they live in a world of that, of money and control. They can't separate it. They can't go broke and they can't lose control because they're done. So those are the things that we have to understand, that we have to have complete control. We are the sole controllers of our existence.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So much wisdom that you're sharing with us. Let me ask you.
You know all this stuff too.
Well, but I could talk it till my head goes
That's
blue.
good to share it. I'm glad we're finally doing it as 3-3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And eventually it'll be dope to bring in another 3-3. And then another 3-3, and then you start understanding there's a code in that. There's a code, brother. There's a code in that. And I've always felt this. It's like you get a certain group of people and they vibrate through numbers. They vibrate through, even a group of people, the way they eat, they're going to respond a certain way. The way they think, they're going to respond a certain way. The way they, you get a bunch of people that work out, you're going to get a bunch of muscles. You know what I'm saying? There's equations to everything. Yeah. And 3-3, speaking about us, there's an equation there that I don't even know what it is. Every time I run into a 3-3, we're out there, we're creative, we're emotional, we live in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about the physical ocean. We live in the
spiritual.
Right,
depth.
the waves, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And we're just beginning to learn this shit, you know what I'm saying? Just beginning, So
well, for me, it's very exciting times of growth and awakening. Can I ask you a more mundane question? Like not super deep or spiritual. Do you miss your life in California? You lived out in Oakland for what, like a decade or more?
Yeah, almost like 12 years.
Yeah, and Miami is great and you're so blessed here to be working with the museum. But like when I met you back in 2005, back when I was working with Satori and we were doing these group shows, and we did a partner show there in San Francisco.
Funny. That's right. Yeah.
Remember with the flyer with the boxing?
That flyer. I didn't see that flyer coming.
I know.
No, I didn't see that.
Did they just make it?
They put you that I didn't want to show my face, and I was like, "What is this?" That was. But the show was cool. It was showing where we were at that time.
Yeah, but for me, mid 2000s, Bay Area culture was really rich and special, and something that doesn't. Well, I don't know how it is in San Francisco. It doesn't seem like it is that great anymore, but I don't want to judge anybody. But that moment really was like. How do you see it? How do you remember it?
I miss it, man. I miss it. I have I'm in a group chat with the PTV crew, graffiti crew that I belong to. And we talk every day with, I know exactly what's happening over there. They keep me in contact, but I miss it. I do miss the Bay. California changed my life, because again, everything's coded, everything has numbers, vibrations, and the East Coast has always been like the gatekeepers of the entrance. The sun rises in the east. We're gonna open the sun to the United States. And then California has always been open, bro. Like really, It
Oh,
was-
you guys been playing with that sun volleyball for a couple hours, so pass it to me now.
Pass it over here, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna paint it, you know? So
Yeah.
it opened up my mind, man. I was able to meet different types of people. Like out there is like, it's, you know, there's that bougie world, of course, but there's a lot more people that'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying? In the street, there's a lot
People
more
friendly.
people. Right, you know, the art is, I believe the art there, I expanded. You know, instead of being like strict, hardcore Rasta, here I come, and you know, and the structure of my art and my characters and all this, out there is like, okay, this is here, but you have these people, you know what I'm saying? And it's been going on for a long time. You know, the people's in the hills, you know, you learn about different cultures, occult sciences. I mean, even in San Francisco, that's where the worship of the devil started in SF. So, you know, you had, you know, that's when I started learning about, what's his name? The Grateful Dead. You know, I started opening up to more the hippie world and that, you know, into the interdimensionalness. But then also they had the Black Panther. So, you know, I'm everything. California's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place, and there's certain places still that are trying to hold it down. But it's, you know, every place is changing, brother.
I remember in 2011, we both live painted at a midnight concert.
Oh, wow. Well,
And,
yes. I have a picture.
I got some good pictures of that. Vaughn was
Oh,
still
you sent
alive.
it to, yeah, rest in peace, man. Such a powerful being.
You did album covers for Midnight, correct?
I did one, yeah. I used to do a lot of album covers for reggae artists.
Yeah.
You know,
like you're like, to me, you're like the reggae
Yeah.
artist.
A lot of people, you want to know something funny? A lot of people don't know me like that. A lot of people know me as the graffiti writer, the spiritual graffiti writer. But a lot of people don't know that I did album covers for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of reggae artists and a few hip hop, a couple of punk too. But I mean, I did album covers for HR from Bad Brains, you know, Rasta, and I
Did you meet HR?
Oh yeah, that's
Tell me
my
about it,
elder.
because he seems like a character.
What do you mean by that, though?
A character, in my definition, is somebody with a large personality,
No.
which could go either way.
No. That's him when he was younger.
Okay.
As he got older, he's amazing, brother. A lot of people say he got diagnosed with schizophrenia, and that's what they're saying. To me, he transitioned alive, humble, peaceful, loving. It's incredible. So when I, you know, like, oh, people say, oh, he went crazy, but no, he transitioned alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still with us, and he's still humble, loving, caring. He doesn't, you know, he can't scream like he used to. He's an elder, but we respect him, you know. And he did go through phases where, but
Punk music is rough. Like, you can only like.
But he does reggae now, only. Yeah, only reggae. But also, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about shaman, okay?
Who?
Shaman. To me,
A specific shaman or shamans in general?
in general.
Okay.
To me, he's one. Because he went into that world of
Mysticism.
mysticism, insanity.
Well, that's that fine line. My grandfather was schizophrenic, and they told me he would speak to the angels and do all these things that made no sense. And I never met him. And I always wonders, like, whoa, was he
did?
like a semi-enlightened mystic, or that he had spiritual powers but they didn't know how to control them and they expressed in weird ways?
When you do DMT, I've heard that you can talk to some entities. Or when you do, I don't know about ayahuasca, but you do talk to the leopard, is it? I forget, the jaguar. Well, there's one that you talk to the animals.
Well, it just opens the portal, and different people might get the jaguar, other people might get aliens.
And I believe
I
that
get different spirits.
And you probably got that spirit from
I
your
talk
uncle.
to elders, or the elders teach me, but I don't see them. I just feel them as part of me, and I am part of that tribe.
Yeah.
And they're trying to like teach the human aspect of me. So when they pop me out back into the physical, I can be a better human with what they've taught me vibrationally.
That's
on the
awesome.
other side.
But but you talk to them.
Yeah, there's communication.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, how far are we gonna say, like the sadhus too. Sadhus is another one. Like, have you ever met a sadhus?
Yeah, but they won't talk to me.
Right. They're in a, you know, they live in a.
Well, they're just like meditating and chill, and I'm not gonna disturb
That's HR.
I'll sit next to them and
People come in there, and I've been with him, and they're screaming, HR, and they don't understand that he's at the level of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. I love you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Cool. I'm so happy to hear
Think,
that.
think about that though. But think about that. He went from militant, screaming, organizing to. I think that's what I'm saying. It's like, to me, he's a shaman because he's transitioned through that world of, you know, what your uncle might have been one too, brother.
Beautiful journey.
You know, to be able to, because I mean, what is a normal person gonna say when you're talking to yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Did you get to meet Vaughn from Midnight?
I didn't get to meet him. No.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting conversation too. He seemed like he was on some other tip whenever.
Yeah, see these
conversations with him.
You know, he's one. I don't think he. You know, they're still around. You know what I'm saying? They're not. You know, after a while, you don't need the body no more, but it's weird. After a while, you know, that's one thing about too. When you get older, I think younger is very body. Older is more energy, mind. You know what I'm saying? Moving, you know, energies. And I believe that. So, you know, there'll come a point that you're like, do I really need this? You know what I'm saying? And he kind of like, you hear it in his songs. He's just always transcending. Yeah, I miss him, man. I never got to meet him, but his music was, to this day, it's weird. Like, because I listen to all sides of music, don't get me wrong. But when you play like a Vaughn song, it's like all of a sudden, you know, your room has to be clean, or you have to kind of like just sit, you know, and just take it in, or you get creative and, you know, your colors change. It's something about him.
I wish he would have stuck around for the COVID days. I know he would have been a loud voice, because I particular in the whole Rasta singer community, a lot of silence, except for Buju Banton, who was like brimstone on fire against Babylon and be like, what's happening here? Come on, Rasta the population. What are we being manipulated here?
No, but okay, so about that too, there is elders still. All right, we're getting into the Rasta talk. You know, the reggae is the paintings. You know what I'm saying? Where we're having here the conversations.
It's a cultural expression.
Right. So there's elders. There was elders speaking during that time too, but they're underground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And within the conscious community too, many elders. Oh my God, they prepared us for that. I didn't get no vaccine, or I didn't do none of that stuff. I was like, no. What did the elders tell me? You know what I'm saying? Or what are they saying? Dr. Sebi, what is he saying? You know, what is Baba Phil Valentine saying? What are they telling me? You know what I'm saying?
What's the vibes?
Right, so they're there.
Yeah.
They're there. They you know, Buju's just he's funny.
Well, he's went to jail.
Exactly. He went through his. Back to Joseph Campbell, the hero's journey. It's constant. You know, you're born, and you face the dark side. Do you want to be dark side? Can you resist the dark side? You fall into it, and then eventually, Vader, you know, Anakin, understands, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this because, you know, and then he eventually comes into, you know, it's beautiful, that story. That's Joseph Campbell.
Yeah.
You know that he influenced. I've been talking about that a lot. He influenced George Lucas.
If humanity is on its hero's journey, which stage are we on right now?
I think facing the dark side.
The dark night of the soul.
Yeah, the dark side. Like, are we going to convert into a Sith Lord, or are we gonna fight to remain a Jedi?
What do you think is gonna happen?
I'm seeing a lot of Padawans, bro. A lot of Jedis. I'm seeing a lot of Jedis. I'm telling you, man. We're seeing negative, but I think there's equally as positive.
I believe the light's gonna come back. I believe the light is coming back.
Yeah, it is.
It's shining bright.
Yeah, but after a while, man, I mean, you get people throwing rocks at you. Eventually, you're gonna be like, no, stop throwing rocks at me.
Yeah.
I don't want no more rocks.
Or I move somewhere else where they
Right.
don't throw rocks at me.
Right.
Just be like, ah,
Yeah.
okay,
Or you know, some will throw rocks back and take them out.
Do you think, and this is a question I really have, do you think humanity has to get violent and uprise in some destructive way to take down Babylon in a forceful way? Or is it in some kind of like ultimately spiritually empowered surrender to what is, where we just allow the love, and the love is that floods the world and takes over and beats the negativity?
You know, that's a graffiti. You're asking me about graffiti.
Yeah.
Should we go out there and destroy, or should we just become muralists and decorate the towns? And that's a question that I've always confronted with myself, you know. And I believe, again, you know, the hero's journey is, okay, if you study bees, you ever study bees? Bees are naturally coded. And they're amazing artists because they do sacred geometry and they produce the sweetest thing, and they have a supreme mother that they all look out, and then, you know, there's more females and then the males, and then each one has their job.
And honey is delicious.
And honey, yeah, exactly, the sweetest, you know? So imagine that. But this is a natural code. No human invented this. You know what I'm saying? Nobody said, well, we're gonna program this and this is how it's gonna go. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they did do that, I don't know about now. But what I'm saying by that is that I believe that some people are warriors, you know, and then some people are gonna decorate, you know. Some people are gonna build the street for the warrior to get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe both are needed, because
yes.
I do imagine. I don't like violence or destruction, but when the cages are so strong, it almost needs like a couple earthquakes to shake things
Those
up.
earthquakes were intense, brother.
Well,
those recent ones.
I'm talking metaphorical earthquakes when it comes to shaking off the dirt, but not that Venezuelans are the dirt, but you know what I mean?
No,
like,
but to me, that's the earth. Yo, you know, did you hear about that? That they said that there was I think she's like a shaman. She told the story that during that day, here in Miami, UFOs were gonna land and take away like 900 people, thousands, I don't know how many.
Yeah, there was something said about that during a soccer match or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Weird.
That day, there was an earthquake and it took thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that the stories are being told, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta direct it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, everything, we have to decode everything. But again, what you were saying was, yeah, I believe that there has to be war, you know, sometimes. Yeah. It sucks, you know, it sucks, but there has to be.
I don't even want to punish the evil ones that control us. I just want you to leave us alone.
But that's our job. We're Pisces with different energy.
Go and be annoying somewhere else.
But there's some fire signs that want to go take them out right now. You know what I'm saying?
God bless them and the karma they take upon their souls.
Right. And then, you know, we create all that through our images, you know what I'm saying? Our images are powerful, brother.
Maybe us watery artists are more like the cleansers. We're just cleansing energy and it passes through us, and the paintings are like kind of like the agüita de Florida to just like cleanse the body of, you know, the energies of the planet.
I'm not a person, you know, I've probably had like a couple of fights in my life, but I'm not one that fights. You know, I rather make conscious decisions before a fight, you know. You know, would I fight back? Yeah, I would. If you know, mess with my children, my family, and things like that, and close friends, yeah, I'll back them up. You know, I backed them up now. But, you know, I think our role, again, the bees. You know what I'm saying? There's worker bees. There's bees that just go get this. There's bees that just serve this. There's one bee that just gives birth. You know, there's bees that create the sacred geometry shapes. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that we have that code in us, but we're a little different, you know what I'm saying? Because we can choose, you know? We can choose. We have the right to choose. You know, we've been given that blessing, you know what I'm saying? To be able to control our destiny. But I do believe some people are warriors, some people are, you know.
We need all the roles.
Right.
To do, and not everybody has to do the same thing.
Right.
So like while we're painting, somebody might be like, hey, painters, stop painting. You gotta go out in the streets and, you know, fight, you know, the Babylon or whatnot.
Right.
And I'd be like, but that's not in my nature. My nature is to like
To
create
create.
and spread the positive love
Yeah.
vibe. And that doesn't mean I'm not on your same side, but we're
Right.
doing different roles.
We're getting there. We're getting there, and that's why we're having these conversations, and that's why people, you know, we need to push art as part of the earth movement, not just also just for self.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, art
But,
is a
but there is a
communal.
lot of artists too, man, that are very egotistical and just all about that money, or, you know, within that elitist world that do not allow
Poor guys.
Yeah, they got to learn.
Well, they're in that level of their human life where art is to feed the illusions of what they think they are, and maybe if they have enough money or popularity or, you know, pats on the back, then they'll be enough. But hopefully we get past those insecurities. I think that's like the name of the video game, to get past our insecurities, love ourselves fully, and then in that empowered, fully loving thing, express and allow others to do the same. And then if we're all just loving creatures.
And I'm also seeing that in the youth, you know, when it comes to music. You know, a lot of them don't want to be signed, or they don't want to, you know, do these lavishest things. They want to do their art, their craft. They want to rap, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there is also the, you know, like my son, he's not into this, like, I'm going to be flashy, look at me. And he's into fashion. But he's, you know, he's conscious of it. You know, he wants to move through it and create, and, you know, without having to go into those worlds that there's, some of them are starting to see don't work for them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're learning, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm learning, you know, I'm not gonna buy no island and become a pedophile. That's not, you know,
No.
that's not the, you know, I'm not gonna defend that either. You know what I'm saying? You know, if I create an island, it's gonna be an island for us to create, you know what I'm saying?
Art
to invite
island.
the world, you know what I'm saying? For us to cleanse and to, yeah. Oh, there's so much, you know, the things we could do if we had a lot of money, brother, you know what I'm saying? Like I would,
I would just,
yeah.
you know, paint the whole world.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, can I paint that one?
Yeah, it's incredible that, you know, that's another thing that, you know, we fight in our minds is the need for money.
I know,
You know,
it's such a weird thing to both want to be a mystic where you just want to be love and vibe, but then you gotta sell your talents and your time to pay and to give to
Take
Caesar
care
what
of
is due to Caesar.
Right, exactly. And it's such a weird world, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and some cross over to just wanting to make money, or some cross over to not want to make no money, you know what I'm saying? And it's intense, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, because when I started, you know, there was no vision of me making money off my art ever. I'm doing graffiti. I didn't care about galleries.
You didn't even do paid murals for many years, right?
I still don't, you know, like unless they, you know, rarely.
Why is that? Why then you would do a beautiful mural for somebody? Come on, Terms, come to my backyard and paint me something. Am I right?
Oh yeah. No.
To a homie.
Yeah, to the homies, yeah, all the time. Pretty much a lot of the paintings I've done is because they let me paint my character, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's illegal. But yeah, they
But selling your talents for muralism. So you're basically, your street art before street art was like a cool hip thing. Like it was this whole movement of street artists before Exit Through the Gift Shop and Bomb It documentaries and.
Oh, we could get into that. Yeah, there was a street art movement in Miami way before Wynwood, and I was part of it. Yeah, we draw little characters, and you know, we still did graffiti, you know, but we experimented with wheat paste and stickers and, you know, cutouts and, you know, paint brushing, you know, on
This
walls.
is what year?
Man, it's like 1990, it's early, 1991, 92,
Wow,
93.
that's super early.
Yeah.
In Montreal, there was like a street art movement with artists like Other and La Brona and Cops Crew, and they were all about like weird characters and very much trained monikers and graffiti because it's all illegal, so it's the graffiti vibe, but not so much about lettering and more about like.
And it wasn't gallery either, right? It wasn't gallery based.
Unless they would rent big warehouses and
themselves.
throw a rave,
Yeah,
and
punk,
then
yeah.
it was like
Do
super
it yourself,
art everywhere,
yeah,
but
yeah.
not like a fancy. No, later on, we all went and tried to sell our art wherever we could, but like back in the day, before the Banksies of Chipper Ferries of the world.
That's a culture in Miami that a lot of that's why Miami is a funny place, because the more we move forward, a lot of the culture here is kind of like disappearing, especially since it's a lot of people are coming in from different places, but there was a movement here, street art, way before any of this. And I don't think we even called it street art. We're just, and there was names like pervert. There was names like acid.
Terrible name.
Yeah. You gotta look up his story. You'll like it.
Okay.
Look up the history.
Good guy.
But there was pervert. There was acid free. There was us. We called ourselves the happy campers.
Okay.
And it was a whole movement of, and time is moving on, and I don't like that. Like I'm sure like a lot of people are gonna be like, who's Terms talking about? You know what I'm saying? And it was so, it's part of the movement. I don't know, man. I like to, what? I guess that's the graffiti writer in me, or something about me that likes to see culture evolve, but culture preserve too. You know what I'm saying? Like. Mm-hmm. Like I want to know the history of the graffiti writers here. Even though this new generation doesn't barely know them. Yeah, Ket's trying his best.
And that's why the Museum of
Right.
Graffiti is a place
but,
to really.
But not just graffiti, you know what I'm saying? Like that, the street art movement, you know what I'm saying? There's so much, like put it in books, preserve it, like we're moving on and it's gonna get like.
Hi, we take a quick intermission from this super awesome podcast show for me, your artist friend Chris Dyer, to tell you about Positive Creations, which is my brand I've been doing for over 20 years, where I offer a bunch of fun products for your enjoyment, like clothing for you to rock at your events and art prints for your walls. We got a new swimwear line with bikinis and board shorts, and of course we got skateboards for you to rip all over town, and we got new pashminas that came through, and we also got some rad kicks for you to use in the city. We got dresses and tank tops, and also we got some beautiful cotton t-shirts. Oh yeah, hats to crown yourself in all glory. And of course, my brand new art book. We got coloring books too for you to color and play all over my art. How about that? You like that, Jack? That's all right. So go to positivecreations.net, make sure to buy some stuff, and I give you my ultimate and eternal gratitude. Bless. Something I noticed about those people who were doing street art before street art was hip in a graffiti illegal fashion,
cost and res.
is like they were so pure about the expression that the part about making money was almost like wrong.
Right.
And a lot of those people failed at making a living from their art, and they had to like totally stop it and get a normal job.
Some made it, though.
Or they ended up in jail or drugs.
Some made it.
Or they pushed harder and they figure out how to make money from the thing. But because of the rebellious underground illegal aspect, many of them like, fuck it, I'll never take a cent from my art. This is purely about doing it. But that can fuck with you once you get into your 30s and 40s, etc.
Right. We had to confront that. And I was a person that, even those album covers, all those albums, when I was in California, so I moved to California in 1999. Yes, I left Miami 2000. I went over there, came back, then went over there, and then stayed there, never left. But I went there to grow weed. I was doing indoors, I was doing outdoors. That's why we were all connected.
There's a lot of money back then.
And I was doing just album covers for fun, or cheap and stuff like that. So, my art was more, it was the angels and stuff like this. And, you know, I had to paint live, but, you know, $200 here, $200 there, you know, and I was making money off weed.
But life was cheaper too.
Right. You're right, yeah. So it was...
in Oakland, I imagine it was super cheap, yet dangerous maybe.
We could get into that too. That's a whole other reasoning. You know, Oakland has this culture. It's a city, you know, it has everything. But what was I saying? I was saying that
we were talking about making money from our
Right.
Sorry.
So no, that's fine. But the you know, we eventually have to face, you know. And then one time, I'll tell you this story. I was with an artist in Oakland, and I was like, this is how he broke it down to me. Do I still see it like this? I don't know. Maybe sometimes. But it was a good way to help me, you know, understand that I should give value, you know, to my work. Was he said that, you know, studying Ifa and all that stuff, their money is an offering. You know what I'm saying? So you value it. So you're kind of like helping them. It's just like, okay, when you give an offering to, you know, to an Orisha and all that, it's because there's an exchange there. You know, you look out for me, I'm looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. He said that they don't know how to, you know, do that world, but they know how to give it their money. You know what I'm saying? So accept their money, you know, the prices that you raise, you know what I'm saying? And it's an exchange, you know what I'm saying? This is an energy field for them to take with them. And you're kind of like saving them because they're giving you the offering, you know what I'm saying, to give to your creativeness. You know, so it's a balance, you know? And then I took that and I was like, yeah, it makes sense, you know, that when people want to come and see this piece and be like, yo, I'll give you 5,000 for that, you don't say, oh, is this guy fucking crazy? Or, you know, all that. No, that's how it's presenting itself, you know what I'm saying? Or if you mark it at 5, you know what I'm saying? Here it is, here's my offering, 5. Yeah. Okay, here's your wish. You know what I'm saying? The energy.
Here's the equivalent.
Yeah, we're putting it into your house. There's an energy field. There's, you know, we're working. You're blessing us with your offering. You're not giving us a dead goat. Sometimes but you know, you're giving us the money. The way that a lot of people in that world know only how to transition too. That's what I'm saying. I've been in that world, and I know you have too. But some of those folks, it's a whole other dimension. It's incredible. Control and money, you know, so they can't, you know what I'm saying? And if you enter there a little, it's like, you know, so you have to put, you know, that's why it's good as an artist always, it's good to have representatives, you know, too.
Yeah, I have such a hard time asking for money. I know I should own it and I, you know, I deserve this. Yeah. But when it comes to talking to a human being like, oh, I need this, it's just like I have such a hard time.
It is. It's very hard, especially for Pisces, because we're in the spiritual realm. You know, but that's what I'm saying. View it as that, like a spiritual thing. View it that their money is their offering, is their pigeon or their chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you receive it, you know, sometimes you have to do 3 chickens. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes, you know, it could be anything. I'm just using that as a metaphor, but.
I just want to afford the time to keep on creating.
Sometimes it's good to, I've learned that as an artist, it's good for, some of us are very different people. Some could walk into a room and a code and whatever, they've mastered that.
Yeah.
Some of us is hard. So I've had folks that speak, you know, like agents that look out for me that are able to talk to people that I can't have a conversation with because they live in that dimension.
And they make their cut. And God bless, they can take their percentage.
Yeah, or if they're cool, you know what I'm saying, they don't take that much.
Yeah. Oh, they're nice. They like you and they believe in what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Terms, I got to drive back to St. Pete today. It's like 5 hours, and poor Almacar is waiting for me, my assistant.
Yeah.
Enjoying the conversation.
It's a great conversation, right?
Yeah, we could get deep in so many levels. I knew it was coming, you know, but I've seen how you talk to Rhyme and how you talk to Congo, and you know, I'm in those worlds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I was like, I need to get Terms on the show. Like, you know, and this is why my show exists, for conversations like this to happen, and for those who resonate with this flavor of artistic conversation to tune in.
It's good, though.
Would
It's good.
you have some final words of advice for young artists that might be tuning in about, like, you know, the artistic path that you've been walking for decades? Like,
For artists,
yeah, for a young artist, that might be like tuning in, what do you had any recommendations or words of wisdom?
I mean, what, you know, it's like kind of like what I tell my son. I keep it basic, you know. It's just to be consistent and to be authentic. You know, authentic to what you create. You know what I'm saying? And to be consistent and to have faith in what you do. You know what I'm saying? Into what you do. You know what I'm saying? And try to, you know, guide it. You know what I'm saying? If you love it, you know, it's like a child. You know, you want to guide it. So, you know, for artists, consistency, authenticity, you know, well studied within your craft, you know, try your best to be a good person and have an understanding that we're talking about artists now. You know that it's there's horrible days and there's beautiful days, but that's life. That's the fullness of life. It's not about being good or bad. It's about living it. You know, I was able to live through it, up and down.
Embracing all the experiences.
Yeah. And you know, and that's as realistic I could get with it. You know, the other stuff is just whatever, bro. You know, I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird. Our world is, you know, I've been in rooms where I'm like, oh my God, for real, these type of people. You know what I'm saying? But I stay quiet, you know, because I respect people. And you know, and growing up Rasta does teach you that certain people are on certain levels, you know, of existence. So you have to kind of be like, oh, you know. But I don't think everybody should be an artist. I think everybody should be creative. I've gone through my life telling people, oh, you should be an artist, you should be an artist. No, I you know, if you don't feel it, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But be creative in everything, in your relationships, in the way you cook, in the way you tie your shoes, and the clothes you wear, your hair. You know what I'm saying? Be creative as much as possible because it adds on to your life.
Express yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Usually I would say, no, art is the greatest thing. It is the greatest thing that happens in my life, in your life. You know, it is the greatest thing, but we're just saying greatest. I know you've been.
Because I was born to do that, and then it's great for me.
Right.
But somebody who's not vibrant
but you've been
with
through
it,
hell through. I'm sure, bro. You know, the air Pisces, we feel. So we've been through hell through it, and we also have been through heaven. You know what I'm saying? And we're consistent, and we're not allowing. I think that's the energy that is kind of eternal too. You know, that nothing is really stopping us. You know what I'm saying? Brother, there's times that I have like $5 to my name. And I have 5 kids, you know what I'm saying? And I'm back at my mom's, you know? So I'm starting from scratch again, you know, with the help of, you know, and, you know, give thanks that I have big prices on my work, you know, because the museum is helping me. I'm super thankful. But, you know, it returns to my children. It returns to funding the art. That's what I want to do. I want to stay an artist. I don't want to be a billionaire. This is what I tell people.
Yeah.
I want them to be billionaires so they can buy my art.
Uh-huh.
I just want to stay doing art
Yeah.
to the end, brother. That's it.
No,
and be safe.
yeah.
And my children, you know, of course, my children being safe, my family. But for me to say, what are you doing tomorrow, Terms? Oh, I'm going to do art. Next day, oh, I'm going to do art. I'm going to do art. Oh, I got to go wash cars. No, you know, you see what I'm saying?
There's no chance.
I've been in those, felt like it, you know what I'm saying? You felt it, but that's what I'm saying, the consistency, energy, I think it is going to outlive us. I think that maybe, right? Do you think, that's a good question. Do you think when you transition the flesh and go into the energy world,
Yeah.
you think your art's going to still speak forever? Not forever, but for years?
I'm making efforts that I leave a trail behind, not so that my ego can feel indestructible, but because it feels like I'm here for a lifetime. It would be nice if I left something behind to keep on working for me, even past my human is here to do it. That's why I published 2 books and I make my documentary.
No, you do a lot, brother. You've done a lot. I mean, a lot from everything. And I've done a lot too. But you've done like, you know, like from you name it. Earrings, I think you've done it all.
Thank you.
But it's so, I see that. I feel what you're saying.
I hope that the trail I leave behind is not so that my ego can feel like I live forever, but
Yeah.
more so I can keep on helping because I really want to help.
Yeah.
I want to help pass my life.
Yeah.
And if I can do that by leaving my art behind, and what is a painting? A painting ends up in one individual's home, maybe a museum, but I also have no expectations.
Yeah.
But that's where, like a book, I can slip into different people's
Right.
houses, and there I can, or my art or my expression can live on a little bit longer. And also, I accept the impermanence of life, that everything will disappear at some point,
Yeah.
and everything will be forgotten, and maybe we'll go on season 8 of humanity and start from scratch again. And I just gotta surrender into it.
That's what we do. Yeah, man. Oh, well, I mean, it's important for me to leave a legacy for my children, especially there's one that I barely see. And I want him to, it's good that you're preserving this because this is how I really feel. I talk to all of them. There's one that I don't talk to that much because, the situation is tough, It'll come around because I know the spirit. All my children are with me all the time, But I do want to leave a legacy for them to see that I wasn't there 24/7 because I was creating this, And I wanted for them to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Write books about me. Go collect my stuff. See who owns it. Who are these people? My dad was alive. What was he doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't show up though when I graduated there, but he painted that big gigantic painting there, that that inspires people all over the world. You understand? So
So he can connect to your essence more than the story of who
the
you
legacy
were
when I'm
at
gone.
any point.
When I'm gone.
Yeah.
While I'm here, I'm still working on. I'm still
But
working on
you
being
are
a better
only the
father.
one that is living right now today,
Right.
and not the man that missed the football game
Right.
5 years ago. Like that
Right.
person doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. So
That's amazing. No, it's amazing because you view it like that. It's like, it's like watching a film.
yeah. So
And then,
once again, if he connects to a painting of yours, he's connecting to the eternal essence
Yeah.
that lived through your art, and not the individual expression of a good day or a bad
I see
day.
where that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So the goal is for the family, and for everybody else too. I've done a lot of work, man. I've done you too, and I've done so much work and I don't stop.
Yeah, that's great. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's so cool, and I'm
Yeah.
happy you're not too far from where I live now.
And there's people that support us, like they are. What I'm
Yeah.
saying? There are people that support us, and
I think the Museum of Graffiti is such a cool place. For me, the Museum of Graffiti, I no disrespect to Wynwood Walls, but it's the coolest thing in Miami.
Yeah.
And
It looks out, man.
it shouldn't be like a competition between street art and graffiti, but even though I'm saying like the art that I do would maybe be more what a muralist or a street artist does, because that's just how I express.
Yeah.
I vibe more with the graffiti people because they're more doing it for like, we just got to do it. Legal, illegal, doesn't matter. We're doing it for
But that's
the
how you
reasons.
started off. That's how you started off, And Entis was telling me you started off like that. You have a brother that's doing that. So it's like, if you just, I don't want to tell people what to do. Me personally, if I was going to start doing art right now, I start off as a graffiti writer. To be able to express myself, to be able to understand, street culture, to understand myself and all this energy that was put into it to experience it, and then eventually start doing murals. To get into murals, just right now, I'm going to do murals. That's cool. Hope, keep going. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, me I wouldn't change it. I would start as a graffiti writer, even though I started off as drawing Mighty Mouse and Heckle and Jekyll and all those cartoons. But graffiti's, it's something ancient, brother. Remember you brought that up. It's ancient. It is something ancient. You know what I'm saying? We hid in caves and created these things. Who knows? You never know. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say, well, it was against the law to create in caves back then. It was against the law to scribe on ancient, Kemetic, monuments and stuff. Yeah, and things like that. I don't know. I've never heard of that. But, I feel like you know, to be true to a culture that started in the street, you know, you want to kind of like, you know.
Pay your dues to some degree.
Is it paying dues? Or just experiencing it and understanding it more, you know, giving it its value, you know?
Well, I mean by paying dues because I feel street art wouldn't have happened without graffiti.
Right.
Muralism is different because muralism, you know, is as old as humanity too.
Right. Okay, I see. I never separated those. I see it.
To me, it feels weird. I shouldn't judge anybody, but like I wish every person who's working with spray paint in the streets gets to experience a little bit of the running in at 4 a.m. doing a mural, not allowed, and doing it because they have to do it, and there's even like a punishment for doing it.
Under
like,
the pressure.
But because you gotta do it so far. And then when you're allowed to do it, not only allowed, but even paid, it becomes like, you know, triple the rewards. Like, oh my God, like after all that struggle and practice and, you know, now like I'm being rewarded with like walls to paint and even payment. Like it shouldn't be a bad thing neither to go that route.
Right.
If that's what you want to do, freedom for all.
Or
Okay.
respect each other. Done.
Oh, I like that.
Or respect each other.
Yeah.
Show more strength in the respect. Because I'm an old school graffiti writer and I still do illegal stuff and I'll still do this, but I'm not going to go over a mural.
No, I don't like that.
I respect that. The muralist, if there's just throw-ups on this wall,
Yeah.
that doesn't need a mural.
Yeah.
I love those throw-ups.
Yeah.
If there's hand styles, you don't need to paint a goat on top of the hand styles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think as we move, okay, so that would be the last thing I would tell them.
What do you mean a goat? Sorry.
No, you know, like it was just an example.
Oh, okay.
A fish,
Okay.
giraffe. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
If there's a bunch of throw-ups here, don't think, man, that wall will make a good
Piece?
a good.
What if somebody does a piece on top of the throw-ups?
Oh no, keeping it graph, that's fine. But I'm saying muralists and graffiti writers. Graffiti writers will go over muralists, do a throw up over a goat.
Do you feel muralists are disrespectful to graffiti artists, treating them as if their art is nothing?
It happens. It happens. I've seen muralists. It happens in the whole art world. I've seen contemporary artists that look down at contemporary artists that started as graffiti writers. So it's there. So my whole thing is what I've been on lately a lot, brother. Respect. It's hard to love each other. That's super hard. So I'm not gonna do that illusion. It's hard for me to love people, but it's easy for me to respect and to have an understanding to why they're doing it. And if we get to that point of respect, you know, there's gonna be occasionally, but no, man, I've been in cities where boom, all the murals are destroyed by throw-ups.
That's Montreal.
And then I've been in, you know, like old abandoned buildings where it's all dope, and then they clean it out and they erase all the graffiti and everything was whack, and you know, and we painted a giraffe in the front. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like
those damn animal murals.
Well, not animal. You know what I'm saying. Robots. They could be anything.
That damn
But
goat.
yeah, but the respect is really important. You know. Yeah. Oh no, I'm so sloppy.
I'm like, it's gonna dry.
Yeah. No, but this one, the gesso doesn't though.
It doesn't dry.
It'll take a long time. Gesso, but things like this, they're dry.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, respect. Respect is, I think, for us to move forward, have an understanding of each other if we really care about it. And to respect each other, man. There's no, you know, if you're gonna fight the right fight. You know what I'm saying? Go to the source. You know, don't, you know, just, I don't know, man. It's getting really easy online for people to send to argue, and that's useless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go to the source. If you really want to fight something, go to the source, man. You know, there is the energy fields of negative that we have to confront. There is positive energies that we have to confront. You know, let's go to that source and respect each other, man. That's key.
One more question. Do you still smoke weed?
Okay, so you know what's funny about me? I barely smoked.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a smoker.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a bad experience one time. I've done my occasional, negative stuff in my life too. So I did something and I ate it, and it sent me to another planet and for a while, and I kind of got a little,
Yeah.
because I'm the type of person that I don't really need it. You know what I'm saying? So what I do now is, instead of completely, I had let it go, I'm back into it, but I'll take like one draw.
Okay.
Like if you have a J, an herb, a spliff,
Well, the reason why I'm asking is we're about to take a 5-hour long drive, and I want to see if you got like.
I don't have any. What I do smoke, brother. What I do smoke almost every day is tobacco.
Okay.
Those are my smoke signals. I call them smoke signals. I'm sending it to Elegba. I'm sending it to His Majesty. I'm sending it to
American Spirit.
My dead ancestors. No, cigars.
All right.
Big one.
Like a mapacho, like a big cigar.
Study about
like
that,
Cuban.
brother. Yeah, but study about that, because we kind of like strayed. You know that you don't inhale it.
I can't. I would have to inhale it because I don't know. Like that's how.
You don't inhale it, because if not, you're gonna get like wasted. It's
I'm a rapé kind of dude.
Yeah.
I just do that like when I do my prayers before I go to sleep, and
where do you get it? You get it? You don't have to tell me.
There's people who sell it, and it's legal. It's tobacco.
And so you get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little curipe.
Yeah. I've done that.
And then it sits in my nostrils, and
I smoke cigars like right after this. When you guys leave, I'm gonna go down the street. I'm gonna get one.
I'm actually getting a new a sponsor for the show that sells rapé. So,
for real?
Yeah.
So I'll probably get some from you.
Yeah.
I would like to, but I just like I like the big cigars, meditation, And then if I want to get lifted, I'll take a draw. I'll take one draw, off the cigar. But that's ancient too, brother. We've been doing that for ancient, our roots. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're Peruano and I'm Colombian. That goes back to ancient times. You know what I'm saying? It's a sacred thing, and that's how I see it. It's not.
I love tobacco.
Yeah.
Tobacco really cleanses me.
Yeah, man.
And I know like cigarettes or whatever, I got a vibe of like, ooh, that's dirty and tarnishing. But for me, I just do my two, and after that, like all the dirt that's on me from the day leaves my aura.
I knock 3 times on the floor and send the smoke signals, you know what I'm saying? Relax myself, put me in a place where, it's not too crazy, you know what I'm saying? And, hold it down. You must have, But give thanks, man.
Ras Terms.
Finally, bro.
Woo!
We did it.
Thank you so much for being on the Chris Dyer's Creative
We had a
Friends.
stormtrooper looking at us.
And thank you guys for watching our episode. Make sure to like, share, hype, comment, etc. And I'll see you next episode.
Peace.
Blessings.
Bless. Peace.
Woo!
So please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Big thanks, and see you next episode. Peace.